Thumbnails now, but
Welcome to Liberal 12th Man Show. I'm Liberal 12th Man, and I am joined today by Brian and JK, and we are live with you. Hopefully, I see Kevin, I see Mark A in the chat. Big up to all of you in the chat as well. If you haven't chimed in, welcome. I did see that, Kevin. I have something for the Gooners that are talking their trash. I do have something lined up for them to kind of give them a little bit of humbleness, because we all have a bit of humbleness in us. We all have a little bit of interest of keeping that measure of balance in our lives. And I also have some cool stuff to talk about, whether it comes to our next FA Cup matchup, which is the thumbnail that you just saw. And then I also have a little bit of the weekend review and the likes that I wanted to share with you. So let's begin with the show here. Brian, how are you doing today?
Yeah, really good. Glad to be back in the groove as normal.
Yes, definitely. Trying to get back into the groove here. It's been a very turbulent week for myself, but I'm definitely happy to be back amongst friends and family. So that's always like something that is important. I think, especially from a lot of the stuff that's going on for myself, at least here in America, whether it's with politics, whether it's with the environment, yeah, exactly. Whether it's with like personal family situations and stuff and the likes, it's a lot of turbulent stuff, but it is definitely reassuring and definitely extremely appreciative when I see some of the kind and definitely appreciated faces, or at least avatars, names and faces and voices and even kind words I see out there that I do appreciate. And it does make a difference, because sometimes you do feel alone in the walk, but when you do see some of the people that do reach out, or at least you see along that walk, you are reminded that you're not alone. So I do appreciate everyone joining in today, and I do appreciate especially my friends and fellow Reds on the panel here that are definitely a little bit more in the know of what's going on, but I appreciate it. So we are going to talk about a couple different things today. And what I did want to talk about especially was, obviously I wanted to talk about, because I didn't get to do the review and do like some of the things that happened in the game. I know some people are probably like, oh, the game's already done and dusted, let's just move on. There are some things that are still stuck in my craw, I guess you could say, about that Spurs matchup. I know I saw a lot of people, a lot of my Spurs friends that were being very like modest before that, weren't really, speaking with a lot of chest. All of a sudden, we're like Tarzan of the jungle all of a sudden when it came to some of the things that were going on with that game. And then I also wanted to certainly get into this FA Cup matchup and definitely figure out what's going on, because like right now it's weird. Like we're at this kind of place where you see a lot of content creators, especially nowadays, a lot of us, our Reds, do like cross collaborations with other content creators that are on the other side of the fence, maybe not necessarily just on the other side of the fence of like of opinions about our own team, but we'll do things with neutrals, rivals, and the likes. They'll be a part of these thumbnails that are sometimes kind of cringeworthy thumbnails or topics that you can tell that the content creator that they're dealing with has an agenda to pick, and they're almost utilizing that content creator on our side of the fence to kind of underline that agenda. But I spoke on it a little bit, or I brought the question up before with Brian on his show. Great show, by the way, and also a great channel. If you haven't subscribed to it, be sure to subscribe to the Irishman's channel out there. But we spoke on the fact of are we going through a period where we are? Is this a worry moment for you, or is this a everyone stay calm, and what's the saying in England? Like stay calm and carry on.
Oh, keep
right?
calm and carry on. I think
Keep calm
and carry on.
Right.
Yeah.
Are we which side of the fence are you on? Are you on the keep calm and let's just carry on, or is it hey, let's ring the bell? We need reinforcements. We need all hands on deck type situation. What is the situation do you believe we're at right now? We can go Brian, JK, tell us in the chat too. Are you which side of the fence are you on right now? Because I know which side of the fence I am on, but I want to hear what side of the fence you guys are on. Brian?
Oh yeah, I'm in the lose your mind and go crazy. No,
Okay.
it's the first blip. It's his first bump in the road. You'll see how he deals with it. We haven't, and we've got a hell of a game coming up against Forest. That is a hell of a game. And we've dropped. Look, we put 6 and 5 past Spurs and West Ham respectively. There, we turned it on in those games, but they're the kind of games you'd expect us to probably score a lot of goals in. Yeah, I am a tiny wee bit worried because, like I was saying to Nolante, I think, look, when Arne Slot was here for 3 weeks, the people that were coming up against him had about 10 minutes of footage. Well, obviously not 10 minutes of footage, but they had like a couple of videos. Now they have 18, 19 videos of us and all the Champions League videos. There's a lot more of evidence of what Slot is out there doing with Liverpool. So people have more time to study him. They know what we're going to do. So I think that's what we're seeing is people adjusting to our tactics, being able to kind of prejudge a little bit. Oh, this is what they do. Okay, we can try this and try that. And he's a very good manager. He'll know what he needs to change. I think he's, like I said, exposed his Achilles heel there a little bit by his own admissions there, the type of football he doesn't like having to deal with. So you're going to get that from Forest as well. So I think, I am a tiny wee bit worried if it was to continue into, it's not going to happen tomorrow, then this other game, I'd like to see us kind of, snap back out of it. I'd like to see us back to where we were as quick as possible. Because in my mind, we have just not being found out isn't the word, but people are more aware of what we do now, and because they may have a little bit better game plans against us. So, but also the Premier League is a very hard league, and we're using a thin squad. So I think it's really, really hard to call right now. Is it a worry? Is it just a blip? Right now I don't know, but I'm a tiny bit concerned, and I think we're in the middle of January transfer window now, so. Yeah, maybe a late Christmas present for the fans wouldn't go amiss.
Okay. How about for you? 5-alarm.
Me, bro.
The 5-alarm bell, right? Is that right? Or is it keep calm and carry on?
I'm going a bit of both. Like for me, I'm always calm. I don't like going over the top, hysterical over a little blunder now and again. It's going to happen. It's life. It happens in football all the time. So I'm not going to go over the top with it. But I feel, like we need a little bit of, let's sort it out again and maybe get a guy or two in. That'll be my sort of focus. Keep calm, always keep calm. I think when you over sort of react on situations, it sort of messes up your game a bit more. So for me, you got to keep calm. It's like Virgil, Virgil sometimes in a game very calm, 90%
Right.
of the game. Then he pulls out for a slide tackle and starts shouting at Trent. That's the way I like football to be, and the way we handle our club. Keep it smooth with a bit of kick-ass motion in there.
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. You spoke on Virgil about his calmness. There is appreciate that, Cedric. Appreciate it, definitely. There's been talks about, like, are these contract negotiations and situations finally starting to show the cracks, and then the whole nine of are we starting to kind of teeter off of our solid unit of a group that is really, really together and really structured, with the talks about now with Elliott possibly being thrown out there as a person that might be on the move. Obviously we spoke obviously about or don't need to speak about Darwin. At least I got called out on the show for doing that, because I think it was the Anfield Index Day. I said don't try to, like, they were talking about the talks about him moving on or going on to Saudi Arabia, and I said, like, don't push those narratives or agendas. It seems like and he's like, oh, the guy got triggered because I said don't push, and he's and I just meant, all I meant, and this is the Anfield Index, is that all I meant by saying the push thing is that even I am doing it right now, but by mentioning those stories or giving oxygen to that fire, it makes it more of a story, or it brings it into more people's range of their algorithms that make them see that story, which is kind of a BS story. There might be some actual interest in Nunez, but from Saudi Arabia, but the likelihood of Darwin Nunez, and this is why especially right now too, the likelihood of Darwin Nunez picking up his family when his wife is pregnant, okay, and moving them to much less Saudi Arabia for the culture shock or difference in not only culture, but the religious differences and the likes, are very, very unlikely for it to happen. Like, this guy he is a family man too. So it's just like, you got to weigh those things in. And it doesn't seem likely, but yet, because it's a story, because it gets headlines, because anything with that individual's name gets clicks, it's just like, that's what I meant by let's not push this story any further than it needs to go. And obviously Info Index got triggered and called me out on saying push. I just want to make sure I got clarification on that, since I do have my own channel. That's the privilege and definitely the what's the word I'm looking for? The privilege, and certainly the
prerogative.
Yes, the prerogative. There you go. To be able to at least give clarification, because sometimes it's hard to do in the chat. So yeah, sometimes it's hard to do. Yeah.
Great team. Yeah.
So yeah, but again, Darwin, there's been talks about possibly there's been talks about Chiesa. There's now this KK talk as well that's starting to grow and gain a little bit of traction. It's interesting too.
Huh? Gotta love it. Gotta love January. Gotta love it.
Yes, you do, and that's what it is. It is my birthday month, so yes, it is. So nice. Yeah, so no, it's not my birthday today, so no, it's not like that. Excuse me, but it is certainly a unique month. They have there's this new sensation out there. It's like dry January or something like that, where they like
Oh
try
yeah,
to,
they've been trying that here for 20 years, man. Never took
yeah,
hold.
yeah,
Dry
yeah,
January, forget about it. People
yeah,
need to drink more in January than any other month. Like it's the most depressing
exactly.
month of the year. They're like, hey, stop drinking now. Come on.
Yeah, yeah. There's, I think one time I remember I saw like a meme, or it's not a meme, but like there's something that said something about like the date that I was born on, or at least the day is like the coldest day of the entire year. So it's like the most miserable day or something. And I was just like, oh man, like yeah, sometimes you could use a drink or two. But all the same, all this is starting to boil up. It's January. It's obvious that a lot of these stories are out there. I will admit that the talks about KK has definitely piqued my interest. You know, it's very unique. I mean, in the sense of, I know for a club that is often claimed as having no ambition, if you really think about it, and this is something I wanted to say too, I get everyone's welcome to perspectives, and I'm not trying to trigger you, JK, on this one, okay? But but if you get to thinking about it, for a club that gets deemed as having no ambition, they certainly are ambitious enough to step up and bring in players during the January window, especially, that some which that no one even knew we even had in our radar, but they do have enough ambition to step up and get some really talented players. We've brought in, I think Sturridge in January, I want to say, Coutinho, right, in January. We brought in, do we bring Suarez, I think, in January, right?
Yeah, he came in with some guy from Newcastle. I can't remember his name. He wasn't very good. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. Johnny Farrell or so. Oh, whatever. Some
yeah,
guy. Who knows? Whatever happened to him. Whatever happened to him.
right, a little GW.
Yeah, I don't remember what his name was. Yeah.
Right. I mean, like,
Striker, I think he was.
we get there's also like we brought in obviously, as of late, as of the recent windows, we've brought in Cody, and there's a shout out to Agent Cody, Diaz in the window as well. All players that, if we had quote unquote no ambition, we would have just said, well, it looks like that's a lost cause. Or that was something we were targeting in for the summer, but you know what? We'll just find someone else. That would be no ambition, at least to me. That would be at least the sign of no ambition. But at least they were ambitious enough that they went out. Now, I will admit that I wish that I'm not going to say that they can't step it up or they can't go to another level, or maybe that's where people are with their terms of what their level of what is ambitious and what's not. But it's just something that I thought I might bring up and see how you necessarily felt about it. I know that, again, that's not a trigger. I guess I should say it's a trigger warning for JK. You know, I'm not trying to bring up a particular, I'm not trying to bring up JH's name, or, you know, or about his group or his company. I'm just saying about the fact that if we do this KK deal, would you think that it's an ambitious and certainly a deal that is a positive for us, at least, you know?
Yeah,
Maybe one. Yeah,
go
ahead.
Yeah, for sure. Like, quality wise, he's got it. Top player. I was just thinking, like yesterday when we were talking about it, is that I just feel like we need someone else right now to sort of cement this title charge and the Champions League, and that will be someone next to Gravenberch, like Chukwemeni, who I've said it on a number of occasions. But this guy is very good. He's 23, so hence why we might be looking at him right now because of the age. Like, he could stay with us for 7 years if he wants. Like Salah, a long time if he sort of settles in. Very good player, and I would say he's a bit like Szoboszlai. in the way he sort of plays, sort of with flair and stuff. I'm not sure he runs around as much as Szoboszlai, but quality-wise, he's up there. He had a good Euros, and he will have his national goalkeeper with him if he does come next season with
Okay.
us. So that's another thing. Maybe the Georgian market is the next best thing, you know? They're the new
Yeah.
Belgium.
Right, right. I mean, who knows? Maybe he saw. I mean, it's obvious that he is good friends with his goalkeeper on the team, and Marmar is coming to Liverpool eventually as well. I'm sure Marmar. There was reports that he liked it on Twitter, but I don't think that Marmar Dashvili has a Twitter account. I know that they were saying, oh, he liked it on Twitter, his account liked it, and oh, there's pictures of them together. And I'm like, of course they're together. They're on the same national team. But I know that this player is a very, very talented player. Super talented player. What do you think, Brian? And tell us again in the comments, please do share what your thoughts are. Is this a target that we should pursue in your mind, or is this something that is unnecessary and you'd rather see the funds or whatever money that we're going to have to bring up or raise, or not even possibly raise, but at least allocate towards it? Do you think we should target someone else?
Oh no, we should definitely go for this guy.
Okay.
Yeah, like I'm you know, look, life is life, football is football. Sometimes things happen, people come in, people leave, but if you're bringing in somebody that is a vast, not a, oh, so I don't want to say it's going to trigger people, vast improvement on a player.
Right.
It makes a big improvement and an obvious improvement to your squad. That's what you should do. That's how football teams work. That's how they get better. That's how you win titles. There will be collateral damage. There'll be people who leave. There'll be people who come in. But if you brought in some useless lump of a dude and you sell one of your best young players, and because of it, and he ends up, being brilliant somewhere else, and you stuck with like this, that's not how you do it. But if a guy like him will demonstrably and immediately improve our team, then you bring him in. That's what we're in the business of doing. And the Gakpo one, the Diaz one, I think those are us at our best, I think, because it was like we were so in touch with what was going on. We knew Diaz was about to go to Spurs. We knew Gakpo could probably go to Manchester United if we want him. We got to go and get these guys, and we act real fast. Mm-hmm. That's what I like about us, is we act real fast. It's like, okay, people say, well, get him done. There's all different viewpoints on it, but when you I think those to me are great. So that's what they talk about, being opportunistic in the market. That's what they mean, is that we're a club that can go, no, that's a player we want. What, 60 million? He's going to go to Tottenham for 60 million. No, we'll match that bid. We'll give you 62 and we'll do this. Right. So I think the Kvaratskhelia one could be like, whoa, hang on, he's going to PSG. Mm-hmm. Right. No. We're going to get involved there. Yeah, I think it's one of those deals. It's someone who we would love to have at the club. Everybody at the club would love to have him. I think there's nobody out there going to tell me he wouldn't play well for us and do well for us. So just go and get it done if you can do it. But I'm also with JK is like, if you're going to sit down and ask a bunch of Liverpool fans, what do you need right now? Not many people are going to say number 10 / left winger / number 10. It ain't the main deal. So I'm with JK on that. It's like, if we're going to do something, look, please bring this guy. Just get him in the club, basically. But we do also need other things, yeah, we do need a DM first, or we do need number 6 first, or we do. But if you haven't, like I'm saying with the opportunistic, if you have an opportunity to sign this player, you take it. That would be my opinion, but not saying at the. Also, I'm not saying at the like at the cost of signing a DM or at the cost of doing something else. I don't think it will be because of that either. But I think we should be all over this deal if we can get it done.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and I'll do it. Sorry. I'll find that guy. I'll do that thing you're asking me to do.
Oh, yeah. I saw. In the
I'll do that. What was the name? Bloody hell, that's a tough one.
Oh yeah. You don't have to. Yeah, we could do that for. You could do it. We could. That's for later in the show. That's like it's
I'll have it ready. Though I'll have it ready.
Yeah. So it's a signing. I'm seeing if people like the signing or would like to see us get that signing done in the chat here. How can team front manager listen? Oh, and I saw this one too from Hylor. He's saying how there's something strange about. Hope I'm not glitching up too much. There's something strange about this Kvaratskhelia, right? KK rumor and price. Last summer, PSG offered a package deal of 200 million for both Osimhen and KK and got a no from Napoli. I think primarily it's because Napoli is going through a financial crunch, I guess you could call it, to say it lightly. They're going through a situation where they really do need money to get some of these deals, or not deals, or to keep their team afloat. The fact that he does want a major upgrade in his salary is also a very big motivator in possibly cashing out now.
Yeah, no, that's the reason. What? Because he said he won't sign a new deal.
Right.
Basically, that's literally it. I thought it was very funny listening to David Lynch talking about it, because he was saying, like, I don't know if he was having a sly dig, but David Lynch was talking about it, and he was saying he was like, his contract runs out in 2027. And it's like, that's 2 years away. That is 2 years away. It's like, if a guy's got 2 years left on his deal, and he says he's not going to sign a new deal, well, you got to sell those. You're not going to hang on to those players. That's what you're going to do. So Napoli realized that, and it's like, yeah, Liverpool, you should sign these players up when they have 2 years left, or else you sell them. Don't let their contract. It's like, because that's what a club does, right? If a guy said, I'm not going to sign a new deal, and he's got 18 months left, it's like,
right.
Well, we're going to sell you. What are we going to do? Wait until you're gone free, or wait until you're, so that's why they've gotten to the point now where they were now prepared to do a deal that they weren't prepared to do last summer, because it's like, well, you wait one more year. No, I still think him with 2 years left on his deal would be worth a hell of a lot of money. But if, like, the kid is, like you said, he's still on the same deal that he signed when he joined the club. I don't like this idea that he has a preference for PSG. I don't believe that. Why would anybody have a preference for PSG? Why would you want to go there? If you had a pick of clubs, why would PSG be your top pick? Go and play in Ligue 1 and not win the Champions League? I mean, why would you want to go? Paris, big club, big money, great, but why would that be your preference?
Yeah. Obviously, Paris is a beautiful city. It definitely, the city and the cultures and everything else can have impact on your decisions, but it's still all the same. If your the football aspect of it, when that kicks in, it's a little bit different settings when it comes to why would you want to go to PSG, which is, if anything, since the exit of Mbappe, they certainly, I guess, maybe if you're thinking that you can fill the void that has been left by Mbappe, and you believe that you can become, you can utilize that for your own brand, or if you can utilize that for the sense of you being the focal point for the team and being that player, more power to you. But A, that's a very big void. B, that's a void that probably will never be surmounted. And C, hey, PSG is, if they couldn't do it when they had both Mbappe and Messi in their,
and Neymar
on their club, how do you think that, if you think that there's not going to be a shadow, lurking over you, you're kidding yourself. So
yeah, do you think you get do you think you get a fanfare if you win the league title with them? People just shrug their I mean, people in France shrug their shoulders at everything anyway, you know, but winning a league title with PSG, they're like, yeah, so what? You're PSG. You spend 1,000 times more than everybody else. Of course, you should be winning the league. You know, so unless you win a Champions League there, it's sort of like, oh, well, you kind of just got par. You know, you did what you're expected to do. I'm not sure how much professional pride you get from playing there, you know, especially, I mean, look, if he comes to England, it's like you can get a nice jet, you know, or even get a car, you know, challenge home. It's not that far to France. You can visit Paris for the weekend if that's what you want to do. You know, come play in England. It's only across the channel. You can hop over and have a look. You don't have to play there. You know, play in Liverpool, mate. We go to Paris for the weekend. You know, sure, you know, you take the girl out. You know, but look, we're doing real business up here in Liverpool. You know, we can go to there, yeah, enjoy for the weekend or something. But that's not somewhere, man. I really wouldn't. That one I can't get my head around. I just could not get my head around that one at all. That he would prefer to go there because they're entering their no Galactico era now because they realize how much they effed it up by ignoring all the young talent that they had around. You know, the talent that they could have just literally just had for free. Some of the best players in the world with some of the biggest clubs. And, you know, even Mbappe was born around the corner from PSG and they had to buy him for 120 million, 130 million. So they've kind of decided to stop doing that Messi, Neymar stuff and concentrate on young French players. But obviously they will add, like Kvaratskhelia wouldn't be a Galactico. He should be probably. He
could be. He could be.
Yeah, he could be. Exactly, he could be, but he needs to.
I don't think he's at that level right now. He's a very immensely talented player, but he's not that level yet.
Yeah, if he goes to a Liverpool and wins a league and a Champions League with us, you know, in 4 years, he's 27. Then he's a, you know,
he'll take his brand from from 6, 7 to like 11, you know, 10, 11. Yeah. He'll do the Spinal Tap and go to 11, you know. For those that know that reference, it's funny because Anyhow, I did put up there for you guys the release clause. There is no release clause, as Hyler said. I did see Hyler also put out this little thing. But if Liverpool offer Chiesa and money in a swap deal to Napoli, both parties pretty much kill two birds with one stone. Yes, that is certainly true. Chiesa does have a really nice size contract, actually. Like, as in, he does have an actual contract that is, I think, I want to say 3 or 4 years, I believe. And he also has a setting where he's going to be, he's making good money. I brought it up earlier on Brian's channel. Yeah, 140K per week for 4 years. Thank you, Kevin. And Chiesa, I actually 140K. I actually saw it being 150K, and that's I had to make sure that I made that correction for Jamie, who kept emphasizing that it's only 90,000 that he's making. That's not what he's making, by the way. That's not even close to what he's making. But yes, 140K. I did see on the resource that I use, it has it'll put a green check mark to contracts that are confirmed. And so 140, 150, I'm not going to squabble over that, Kevin. I'm not going to squabble over that. Yeah, totally. But that's just the resource I use is at 150. But 140, 150 is a big difference than 90. Let's just say that. That's the only reason why I bring up that sheer fact. But yeah, it'd be nice to see us get that deal done. I don't necessarily know if we have to throw in Chiesa. I did suggest that actually on Coppish. I suggested that. And I don't think it got any real traction. But I mean, that is, if Chiesa is uncertain or is uneasy with his status here and doesn't necessarily like the trajectory that he's on with the club and with the team and with this coach, then possibly maybe a return to Italy, a return to a good team. By the way, Napoli is a good team. It would be possibly something worth investigating, but we can see. We can see. I would like to see Chiesa stay, by the way. I mean, if we have a 4-year contract with them and it doesn't work out for him to be a part of the club this year, or not necessarily this year, but like in the lights, in the level that we would like to see him this year, I'm not really sweating it. It's not my money. So, you know, it is what it is. I wouldn't mind seeing him being able to contribute to the club at some point. It's not like he's never going to contribute or never could get back to that level in my mind. So unless you guys have something you guys have different or believe different.
JK, are you? I know you were saying you're busy. Do you want to chime in?
Yeah, like for me, Chiesa's not really had a chance. We've not seen anything from him, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if he plays tomorrow.
That'll be a big thing. Yeah, that'll be the big
Time.
big sign. Yes, that'll be the big. That'll really tell us. That'll be like the writing on the wall. If he doesn't start and he doesn't play, because he needs to start, not just play minutes.
Oh yeah,
hell yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If he doesn't start,
I want to find out Mo Salah just took a weekend or a 2-day break to freaking Barbados or something. He ain't even in the country tomorrow.
Right.
Playing for us.
Right. Agreed. I was also going to show. Let's see. There is something I said I would do a little quick week in review type segment. We're into the we're coming up on halftime, so I wanted to certainly bring up some things that kind of got a little bit on my crawl, and that was two different things. I know a lot of this is already past some people, but again, I'm just going to bring this up just for my own copium, I guess, or my own sanity. And that is this. Let me make sure I bring this up so it makes it big enough for you guys to see. So there were two calls in this game that were particularly troubling. Okay. These are the two calls. The one that went up against Simicast, the one that wasn't called, you can see it circled there. That's Jones in the box being basically Cobra Kai'd. It's like, you know, as his leg is being swept out from underneath him. Virgil's like sitting there, Lucho's sitting there watching the crime as it occurs. And that's why they were up in arms being like, how do you not make that call? Jones went down on the ground, was hurt. You could see him. He was hurt from the actual contact. Didn't get called. Could have made the difference of us at least equalizing on this game. The initial one up top was important because the player didn't get contact with the ball. By the way, that's just him making contact with Simicast. It was also this was the key part and point in this issue was that it wasn't even called a foul. Okay, I know some people are going with the assumption that he played advantage or he went on and continued on. On my side of the pond, they have it was done by Galazzo, and they do it's basically CBS or Paramount basically that does a program where they cover. They're the ones that cover the Champions League for us here, but they also cover. They're now covering the League Cup as well, and they have a pundit on there that is a referee, and she is closely associated with, like, you know, FIFA and the referee association. And she was mentioning about the fact that A was a foul, B was all the different things, all the different levels of it. About it, like, you know, being reckless, being late, be a late challenge, being a dangerous foul, being not touching, not making contact with the ball, all like as in it was like ding, like all the check boxes being checked off. But the biggest thing that she brought up, and was something that I've been emphasizing, is that was not, he did not say advantage. He didn't motion and say advantage played, play on, play on. That wasn't the case. He deemed it as not a foul. That was the worst part about it. And unfortunately, VAR can't, because this isn't a red cardable offense. It wasn't a red cardable offense, and I'm not trying to say it was. But what I am saying it is, it's certainly a yellow card offense. And because VAR can't get involved in yellow card challenges like this, they couldn't review it. So because he didn't say advantage, you heard Ange come out and cheekily say, "Oh, I've been told by referees that if you play advantage, then we're not going to see you go back and give a card." And then I'm like, "Hey, they do that all the time, Ange. So I don't even know what you're talking about right there." And B, it's a foul, and the fact that he never called it was troubling. And what was even wilder about it is this is one of the first games we've gotten to see referees do this. And it's something that Arnie brought up, and I'll bring up this point here, is that he said on Stuart Atwell's in-stadium announcement following a VAR check, he says, "I think it would have been more interesting for everyone if he explained why he didn't give the second yellow, rather than explaining why he canceled the goal, which is what everyone could see on the screen." So, like, for something that's obvious, you're going to give us an explanation. But for something that makes us all go, "Well, why did you do that?" Or "Why is this not a call?" Or why is this foul being called?" You're going to remain silent. I seriously don't understand the refereeing and the level of incompetency that goes with the refereeing, okay, in England today. And it goes, and it's just not, obviously just for England. And it's not just for our team. It happens to a lot of teams in the league. And it also not only happens to a lot of teams in our league, it happens in other leagues. It happens in Champions League. But it just so happens that it seems like it is such a recurring incident in football for our quote unquote entertainment enjoyment, that is now a detractor on that entertainment. And that's poor. I think that's something that is very, very poor and wild to see. Because, like, that's just something I think of. Do you have an opinion on this, you guys? Yeah, I know I went on a little bit of a rant there, but
no, you haven't had a chance to talk about it. It's one of the big, It was one of the big moments in the game. It was, look, it kind of comes down to, and that is a fair point as well, because there's a lot of people definitely, they actually kind of do think that he gave a foul and didn't give a yellow. And the reason he didn't give a yellow was because he knew he'd effed it up by giving him a yellow, getting conned by Diaz. Diaz dived, straight and simple. He dived. There was no contact.
In the first one,
yeah. So he definitely went, "Oh shit!" Like, they'll have been in his ear, said, "Oh, by the way, we looked at that one, by the way, and there was no contact. Diaz dived," and he'd be like, "Damn, he got me." So what he does then is he evens it up. I think the reason he doesn't give a foul is because he knows if he gives the foul, he's going to have to give a yellow. Mm-hmm. And he's like, so he's trying to say, like, okay, it's easier for me to not give this as a foul than to give it as a foul and not give a yellow card. Because the only reason to not be a yellow card would be to not see it as a foul. Because he's thinking, I'm not sending this kid off here, because the first one was yellow. It's like, yeah, but how many goes around does he get then? Can he make another yellow card foul and you won't give him a yellow then because he shouldn't have been on the, you know what I mean? Is it, you're going to wait till he gets another yellow card? Will he give him a yellow then? So by the rules of law, that should have been a yellow. He was already on a yellow, wrongly on a yellow, yes. But that should have been a foul. And if it was called, it would have been a yellow card and he would have been sent off. But this is the knots they tie themselves up in sometimes. But you could say, what was the catalyst of that? What was the catalyst for this whole situation? Diaz diving. So
Right.
one of our players cheating was the catalyst for this whole situation. So this is the knots it's been tied up in. But if you're following how the things went out, he's on a yellow, he does yellow card offense. You got to send him off. But yeah, it is. It puts your brain in a washing machine with all this, and it shows you these guys. They're running around. We sometimes forget some of these players are a little bit cheeky.
Yeah.
You got to keep an eye on all of that as well. Look, it doesn't matter. I'm always disappointed to see one of our players try and con not a referee, but con another player. Like you're conning Bergvall there by diving. Diaz,
Right.
you're conning. We call out divers as a club every single day of the week because our club has never had. We've had Suarez, yes. We've had divers in our club, but we've
Right.
never been a club that has it kind of, oh yeah, we love the dark arts. It's like, man, I really wish you wouldn't bloody do that. I love you, but I wish you'd cut out the diving and the nonsense. And Suarez cut out as much of the nonsense as he could have. Like Suarez in full nonsense mode would have been diving. Or like it was like, look, man, I
Come
get
on,
what you're
he
doing.
even incorporated it into one of his celebrations, one of his most notable
Yeah.
celebrations.
Oh, in front of David Moyes, iconic moment.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was hilarious.
we get the whole South American Gara thing where cheating over there is considered clever. It's not considered cheating.
Right.
It's not considered cheating. It's considered clever.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, but dude, not over here, right? Not here. It kind of won't go down like that. It's like, oh, okay, but he still had it in his blood. But we've never been a club that condones diving or says, yeah.
Right.
Not saying we've never had divers, but we've never had many of them. And I don't like it. And I think it's one thing that you can't push back against everything, but we should push back against that whenever we should call it out when we, like they say, should call it out when you see it. If one of our players takes a dive, call it out, because when one of their players does it next, we're going to be calling it out. So it was a really frustrating one though, and I think obviously because then what happens? He pops up and scores the winner. Inevitably.
That's what, and on top of that, but it was like, to add insult to injury, no pun intended. Simicast had to come off for that foul. He was on the sideline because he went down, because he was hurt. He had to come off the pitch, and we were, rather than them be 10 men down, we're 10 men down, and now we are penalized in essence from you saying, and this is what I went. And again, I guess I do my I do my Punisher, or I do my my version of of getting vindication, my Sansa impersonation, and that is writing down people's names or getting receipts and trying to make sure they are accountable. And this is why a person I really appreciate respect. And again, this is someone that I hope that I get opportunity to work with at some point of this journey. And that is Lawrence McKenna. He's a Scouser that is doesn't have much of a Scouse accent actually. Now you wouldn't think he's from Liverpool, but he is a Scouser, or I know his dad is a born Scouser, and he was making he brought out his clip was, or his episode that he brought out was, in the very beginning of it, he went on and spoke about how the first 30 seconds he speaks about how there weren't enough fouls. Bergvall wasn't a part of enough tackles or bad tackles to be deemed as being someone that should go off on for 2 yellows. And what I had issue with is because of, okay, if it was a dive or if it was a bad call, I still think that he impacted. It wasn't. I think the reason why he got the yellow wasn't necessarily because of simply that Diaz foul. What people seem to forget is that Bergvall made a challenge earlier to the Diaz tackle that was reckless, and he made that challenge, then got up, went and did the same type of somewhat reckless challenge towards Diaz, and Diaz definitely, showed a little bit of you know, drama behind it, and got the call. But I think the referee gave it because of the accumulation of those two incidences back to back. Okay, and that's why he got the call. That's why he got the yellow card. But then for him to go on and not have for him to basically then be told in his ear, as Lawrence McKenna was saying, oh, they were probably, VAR's probably saying, hey, that wasn't really a foul. Diaz, embellished it or something along those lines. And for him to say, okay, I'm going to allow for this player to have a get out of jail free card is BS. Because if anything, that is a yellow card offense. So what you're saying is now, because that other one was, now that I've been told it wasn't a yellow card, I can't take it back, So, because technically you could take it back, to tell you the truth, but he's already played it as such.
Not in the middle of the game, not during the game.
Right, but not in the middle of the game, exactly. So now you've already carried on. That's already sitting, and now this player who, rightfully or not, or unrightfully so, I think rightfully so, because of what I said, it being an accumulation of challenges that led to that yellow card. Now that player is being looked at as, oh, well, he was done a little harshly earlier. So now that's a yellow card offense, but I'm not going to give him a yellow card. It's BS. It's BS. And this is why I'll show you why it's BS. Okay. Because if this particular team, especially if you don't believe me, this foul was deemed as being a second yellow. Okay, make sure I got the volumes off of this. This foul was deemed as being a second yellow. That was the foul. That little him tripping over his own, basically tripping over his own leg was the reason why Diego got a second yellow in the game. Did they say, oh, the first one's a little harsh, or oh, maybe that one was a little harsh, maybe I shouldn't give him a yellow? No, they gave him a yellow, and he got a red card as a result. Obviously, that's why I have issue. That's why I have issue, and it's crazy because I hear Spurs fans going, "Oh, look at you crying over a call." Da da da. Yeah, because it was a poor call, very poor call, and that's why I was getting issue. Okay. That's why I had a little bit of issue. So I'm just getting a little bit of frustration out. I get it. Obviously it's a little bent up frustration, I guess some might say. But I mean, realistically, I think of it as something. I think right now, after having seen that, I'm in the same mindset as Lucho in this right here. I'm in the same mindset of Lucho in that I am in this mindset. Make sure I don't have any don't need that. I'm in the same mindset of this. Pedro Porro, you're not even in my league. You're not even in my league, Pedro Porro. Get out of here. Is there someone talking? Is there someone talking? So that's why I just want to make sure we understand. So a little bit of a rant. I get it. A little bit of a rant, but something that I wanted to make sure I got out before the weekend.
But all your points were bang on, bro. Exactly what you said right there is exactly what I wanted to say as well. That one that you just showed of Diaz getting sort of pushed. He got pushed over there by Porro.
He got pushed in the back. He got pushed in the back in the box.
And you know what happened before that?
We're going to get in his face and be like, what?
Porro sort of blagged that he got headbutted by Diaz on a cross, and it was off actually Porro, the ball that came in. Porro headed it out, but what he did, he pretended that Diaz headbutted him from behind, and he fell on the bloody floor. And what happened? They got a goal kick, bro. Cheating throughout the Tottenham game, always bloody cheating, Tottenham.
Yeah. That's why it's like they were like, again, it's like beating us for beating us, Spurs beating us for them is like them winning a Champions League final. That's what it seems like it is. That's what it feels like for them. And that's why, if anything, when I do see this, it's why I would even go as far as to say I hold the same feelings as Trent Alexander-Arnold in this retribute. This is Spurs. I'm not playing the volume, but this is Spurs. They're getting on him right there. But Trent had to tell him what time it is. And he doesn't mean, he's not referring to his 66 on the back, and he's not returning to 6 o'clock.
No, it's 11 o'clock.
You're not referring to 6 o'clock. Yeah. Exactly.
Well, that means he's staying here. Yeah. He did that.
Yeah. 6, baby. Let's talk about 6. So
yeah, and he can't, like, I mean, he would need he'd need 4 hands if he wanted to put up how many league titles we'd won. He'd have to call one of the lads over and say, look, you do 10 and I'll do 8, okay? Yeah, exactly. The only reason he's doing the 6 is because he doesn't have enough fingers, doesn't have enough digits to do the 18, 19.
Have people come over and help him out for that.
Yeah. Need a lineup. You know, want to do all the trophies, we need a full 11 with these Spurs fans, man.
Yeah.
What was it? The last guy. 2006 Wandy Ramos League Cup.
Oh, it starts at a young age, by the way, for Spurs fans. And shout out, because I do have some very, very beloved Spurs friends in the game here. I definitely do. But it doesn't just, unfortunately, it starts at a young age. And what I mean by that is, if you don't believe me, I'll share this with you. Okay, let me share this with you here. It starts at a very young age. And this is what I mean by the age it starts at is, I'll make sure there's no volume. Okay. Check out what this girl does to this Mo Salah. Yeah. It's like that. It's like that. Really?
Mentioned, yeah.
I got you. Yeah, you saw it, right?
No, watch
this is in the lineup.
Does that?
This is in the lineup.
Does that thing where
look at her.
Oh, cheeky that was.
The way he's laughing at her, though, I wouldn't be surprised if he's like, okay, nice. I don't know. He doesn't seem offended. But who does that thing where they put their thumb on their nose and they wiggle? I haven't seen someone do that since I was about 5.
Yeah. I don't understand, man. It's at a young age. Teach one each one, people. Teach one each one.
You're putting out some good videos there, man. Some good things that happen in the game that a lot of people might not see, you know.
Yeah.
Seeing Trent do that 6 thing, that's cool. You know. Yeah.
I get that. I know the Spurs kids are known to have fun with some of the opposition. I saw that. Okay, I saw the likes of one of the kids in the Spurs lineup, or one of the Spurs ambassadors or mascots. One of the kids.
Okay.
Said. Okay, got you. One of the kids did it.
Let's call it.
Yeah, good call. One of the kids said to Virgil, yes, Squidly. One of the kids said, "Hey, we don't have any real defensemen right now on Spurs. You should come to Tottenham." Basically, I'm paraphrasing, but he was like, "You should come to Tottenham," and Virgil was like, "Yeah, okay." All right. It was funny that he said that, but he was like, he was trying to do his best to possibly say to Virgil, "Hey, we know your situation. Maybe you'd be interested in joining our team because we need the help in defense." But it was just funny.
You know what? Those mascots are going to be future content creators, you know, like for the Tottenham fan base. 'Cause have you seen how
Well,
the Tottenham
I get
fan
it.
base,
It was
Tottenham,
bold.
they're
It was
proper
so bold
cheeky.
to do that.
They're proper cheeky and loud,
Yeah,
and
that was
yeah,
pretty.
they're perfect. They're perfect. It's the fan base. I really
They're
realise
from
it.
London.
And
They're from
yeah,
London.
they're from London. No, and Arsenal neighbours. They're going to act like that, you know, undercover. They do it. They do it with an undercover sort of status. You
Yeah.
know, they don't just like Arsenal or proper. Yeah, they're Tottenham are a really whinging sort of fan base, man.
Yeah. And that's the thing is that, like, you know, it's funny. I saw it and I was like, okay, well played, young lady, well played. Bold. I mean, you finally get an opportunity to you know, shake the hand of a Premier League legend, and you give him the raspberry or the Zerbert, I think they call it. I think the kids call it the Zerbert or something, like the whole like.
I've never heard its name actually. Yeah, I just because I was trying to describe. I've never seen someone do that thing where you put your tongue. Yeah, I've actually never
Mhm.
I didn't know it had a name, but yeah,
The
that
whole
thing.
nanny boo boo. Yeah,
It's just that's something people did, and like you stopped doing that
It's
when you're
funny.
7. You know, at least you didn't give him the finger.
Yeah.
I mean, to his face, right? I mean, he should have had a quick
well,
ponytail.
you know, you never know. Yeah, you never know where some of these kids are
But
going
I
to
like
take
the
it.
fact
You
that he
never
laughed.
know.
He was like, but she didn't look that young, dude. She looked
Yeah, I know
more
you had
kind
to
of like 16, 17. She wasn't one of those, like, you know, a lot of these mascots are usually like 6 and 7. She looked a lot older. Like,
Oh no, yeah, she
she
was
was
probably like she looked like she was like 13 or something, 12, 13, 14
at
years old or
least.
something
Well,
like
that's
that.
maybe she's a tall girl, but she wasn't a tiny young kid, like, you know.
No. But it's funny. It's pretty funny. I don't know if I could play this because it's for Liverpool FC and it's the interview that they gave. So I don't know if and it's got the instrument. But Connor basically spoke on the result. And I'll just read you what he says. He says, after the result last time we were here, they were probably deflated. Let me make sure that I put it in there correctly from it, and they wanted to show something from it. So yeah, they are always going to. They are always going to obviously show up with a bit more fight and things like that. And I felt like, yeah, and he felt like we matched it, especially in the first half. And he saw we probably could have been a bit better on the ball at times, but then I'm paraphrasing again. Now I'm starting paraphrasing because I'm trying to put it in his words, not mine. So you don't think it's me saying this, but he says, but then I thought we were aggressive and we matched their physicality. But yeah, bring on the second leg. And I really, really, really enjoy seeing the fact that they recognize the fact they know what it is. I want to see this team basically have fight and some actual like anger or some type of like, you know, a slight embarrassment to know that they lost to this Spurs team that they should have beaten. You know, even with a somewhat lessened squad that they put out on there, in the sense of it wasn't all of our starters, obviously, our bona fide starters. I want to see a bounce from this, as Kevin is saying. I want to see some real fire in the belly to say this makes a difference. You know, this is where we make a real difference in our approach towards things. And if you know what, again, this is one of the reasons why I love this guy. I appreciate and love the fact that he's our captain. Virgil saying we got work to do, and that's exactly it. We got work to do, people. FA Cup's coming up. You know, we got work to do for certain. And you know, the work never ends. So we need him and this team to be focused. We need them to be dialed in, and we need them to be ready to really act and really get things going on. There's some real interesting things, and like you know, I know that there has been an emphasis on possibly, you know, is our team starting to stutter and spurt? Do we have issues with our attack? I don't necessarily believe that we have issues with our attack. I think that we certainly have some off the field situations that are, I believe, having some type of impact on this team. But I'm hoping that we can get through them, and I'm hoping that we can get these settled. Hoping that the administration can get these things done and completed so that they're past stories or past issues. We can just move on. It's not easy. This is the cards. This is the hand they dealt themselves, in that they haven't really pressed and pushed. Obviously, the players have a hand in their future now, and they hold quite a bit of the cards that are necessary to be played here. But hey, we as fans just got to step up and be on another level.
Not sure what he means by that. If
can you buy into? I think he said he meant captain, but he says, can you buy into captain who can't be here in 6 months? Contracts may be sorted. Can JWH step in?
No.
John Henry would most likely never be the guy that you think is going to step up and make any moves. John Henry is not a football guy. I understand that might trigger some people, might push some people the wrong way, but John Henry hires competent people to handle his work for this club. So when it comes to that, it's primarily why the position that Edwards holds now is, if you want to talk about someone, focus it on Edwards as being someone that could possibly step in and make things get pushed in the right direction, because he's the one that handles football operations for Liverpool now. He oversees all of the team, if not future teams, that are going to be in their resume, and he's the boss of the boss when it comes to. He's the underboss. He's the captain, as they would say in if we're part of the Sopranos or something, and that's
he buys companies, he buys clubs. He doesn't handle staff contract renewals.
Yeah,
and
he
that's
doesn't.
basically what it is. It's a staff contract renewal.
Yeah,
to him, it's maybe if you're talking about like it's at his beloved Red Sox and it's his thing, I'm sure he might have more of an interest, but he's going to say to somebody, I mean, it is really, really difficult for some people to get their heads around the fact that John W. Henry will say, I hired you to run that club. You make that decision. Even when it's, do we sign the world's most expensive player? Do we re-sign? Like, the guy who owns this club is literally saying to somebody else, that's your job. That's why I hired you. He isn't going to sit there at the end. He's not sitting there waiting on the phone thinking, if they do the wrong thing, I'll ring him and stop him at the end. He literally goes, look, I gave you the keys to the building. You live or die by your own decisions.
Yeah.
He's not sitting there going, don't be ringing me up asking who I think should be a manager of the football club. I'm John W. Henry. Yeah. I've been to like 4 football matches in the last 20 years.
Yeah, exactly.
I bought the club and I put football people in charge of running that club. Why the hell are you asking me? I bought a plumbing business and you're ringing up to me asking me what inch pipe we use? I don't fucking know. I'm not a plumber. I bought a plumbing business.
Yeah.
And I hired people to manage it and run it.
Yeah.
You don't ring them up and ask them, what size nut do we use on that faucet? It's just like, no. That's what I know. It's hard for. I don't like the fact that it is like that sometimes. Like we all said, like the Jack Walkers, we all want a guy that's a billionaire that owns our club and he was born around the corner from the stadium. We'd love that. But we have to accept who the guy. But he gets results in what he does. Look at you can take a guy like Jim Ratcliffe, for example, who is similar enough to John W. Henry. Now, nobody has exact results, but 12-man, a lot of their stuff is stateside, right? With their NASCAR team at the beginning, with their baseball stuff. So, like,
they have a hockey team as well. They actually have a team.
Successful.
The team, put it this way, he controls 2 teams that I follow. I do have a love for hockey, and the team that I follow is the Pittsburgh Penguins, and the Pittsburgh Penguins are now owned by FSG.
So have his
formerly owned by a player that I idolized when I was younger, Mario Lemieux. you know, like as in, so
Oh yeah.
yeah, there's a lot to deal with that, you
So,
know.
in terms of them, have they been successful owners in sports in America? Have their clubs generally done well, or have they been absolute shit shows?
I
Have they been
I
winning? Like, how's their NASCAR teams? Did they win? I'm not saying they win
I don't
everything,
know
but
about the NASCAR because I don't really follow NASCAR like that.
yeah,
But I know that look, you know, Boston is the Red Sox are an immensely large institution when it comes to baseball in America, and it's one of the top teams, and it's a part of a city. Again, Boston is not one of the biggest cities in this country. So, like, as in, I don't even know where it ranks actually in size, in like, you know, in the sense of like population. But it's
I,
not
I
top five.
have I have a
It's not top five.
wider point. I have a wider point. So I just want to push a little bit. So,
Sure, go ahead.
would you
And
say
neither is
they've
Pittsburgh.
been
So,
successful? Would FSG have bought like and done well with their teams
I think
in
that they
the main?
know. I think the one unique thing about FSG that may be somewhat, and I don't want to make this into a super FSG thing. I'm not trying to be like the, you know, spokesperson for them, nor am I trying to, like, you know, carry their water. But I will say that FSG, there's that whole like Moneyball aspect of FSG that is unique in that FSG saw how uh, Bean was doing with the Oakland Athletics, a team that is not connected to Boston, obviously, or FSG, and he saw that there was some real unique science for a team like Oakland, who hadn't been relevant for some years and is in a city that is, I don't want to call Oakland a dying city because I do have family there and I do have appreciation for it, but it isn't. But it's a city that is being dwarfed by its sister city or brother city, however you look at it, San Francisco. Okay, in the amount of wealth that is in San Francisco versus the amount of wealth that is in Oakland, and it's the reason why, like, seeing Oakland do the moves and things that they brought, and for FSG to notice the fact that they were able to really make some moves of utilizing analytics and bringing it to the fold of, let's try to make a delicate balance of the two. It's a unique concept, and it's something that they've obviously, because once they acknowledged it and started to incorporate it in Red Sox, guess what? They did something that was very similar to what they did for us here in Liverpool. And that is, they brought a franchise, a championship that had been absent for over 80 years for the Red Sox. It had been some 80 years. It was so long for the Red Sox, but since they had won a World Series, that there was something that they called the Bambino curse, which is when they sold Babe Ruth to the Yankees, and that's when they stopped winning championships. They called it a curse of the Bambino, and they went years without winning. And that is during years, during episodes, decades, where that city has seen, in loosely speaking with American football, but they've seen Boston Celtics win multiple championships. Okay, they've seen New England Patriots. They're not Boston team per se, because obviously they're called the New England Patriots, but they are often related to Boston, since Boston is one of the biggest cities in that region. And I mean, they're a region that has New England Patriots winning dozens, or not dozens, but lots of Super Bowls and the likes, you know, and still all the same, they came into this club and they made it into a winner, and they've gotten their championships, or they've gotten their World Series, and that's all. More credit to them. It's something that's, like, you know, uniquely, they did it their way, and they created something. You know, they came to Liverpool, they did it their way. People don't necessarily agree with a lot of the tactics, but hey, you know, I don't want to. I want
It's
to.
just the point I was trying. The point I was trying to get. I should have probably put it a different start.
Mhm. Sorry, yeah, sorry.
No. I get no. What you're saying is brilliant. Like, but Jim Ratcliffe has taken over 2 football teams and a cycling team,
Yeah,
and another. He's had he's taken over at least 3 sporting ventures, not all football. They've all gotten worse, like demonstrably worse. since they've been taken over by Jim Ratcliffe. The cycling team that he took over was like one of the best in the world. They've been pretty much dog muck since he took them over. I think over Strasbourg, I think he took over. He took over French Strasbourg, I think it was. They've been horrible since he took over. This is what I'm saying. It's like he's coming in and he's the guy that's taken it. But I just think FSG, when they've taken over clubs, businesses, football clubs, or sporting businesses, they you don't have sustained dominance or success because you can't have that in America, right? With your draft systems and stuff, you can't always be top dog. There'll always be cycles, but they've always done really well because I think they love sports. Jim Ratcliffe loves money,
Right.
Of course these boys are rich hedge fund guys, but it's kind of like, okay, we're really rich now. We can buy these things that we love, like our baseball team and our NASCAR team. Because this is the shit. Like, I made my money doing other crap, but this is the stuff I love.
It's what we would do.
Yeah, but they're so clever about it. They're not going to burn their money on it.
Right. I know that like the lotteries sometimes have gotten up to like $1 billion or something like that. If you want $1 billion, I would do exactly what, again, not trigger warning for JK, but I would do exactly what LeBron James did. And that is buy a share of Liverpool. I would, at least, if I won the lottery and I had all this money, and I know that I could invest this money into a club, I would do just that. I would invest into Liverpool, so I could say I'm not only, I'm not only a client. I'm the club president, or something, whatever they say. I could actually be a part of helping the team along with to have investment to another level. It does make a difference. So I was certainly.
Yeah, no, I'm not out here trying to say again. I'm just trying to say that, like, they do a good job when they don't do what we wanted them to do. A lot of people wanted them to do. But I'd say, like, a lot of these guys go in, they just ruin the things that they take over. FSG don't go in and just ruin. They say, hey, look, this thing should be doing really well. Let's make it do well. It's I just think, look, I know it does get people. So the LeBron James thing, though,
I know. Be careful. Just
that's been reported as well. That's been reported wrongly as well for years.
Yeah,
Kevin has got it right there. He became a public face of a buyout, which is what all these people do, because people want to see a face, something they can tie the club to. So LeBron became a bit of a face for it, like the guy, the quarterback that's involved with Brighton.
I think it's because of what I think the LeBron James thing, and this is just my personal opinion. I think the LeBron James thing is very similar to what you've seen with this new sensation for football, or for athletes, and that is the ability that they're making so much money now. They used to make, again, you got to watch that Lakers that Showtime thing that I talked about. It's a very good series. It's very interesting. It's a revolutionary period in NBA or basketball here in America, but it's just in sports in general, of how a lot of the relationships between players and ownership and everything the likes, and the rivalries. It's a really, really interesting series. But
people buying clubs, players buying clubs all over the place, aren't they?
Exactly, and that's what I was just about to reference. It's so intriguing because, like, at times, and why I was referencing that series is there was a period when Magic Johnson was offered a contract, and it was a divisive contract because it separated him from a lot of the players that had worked and grueled and not gotten necessarily the type of contract that now they were giving to Magic, because he was such a dynamic player and such a important player to the franchise. And, like, there's a thing where Dr. Buss, his Red Armchair supporter, just brought out, speaks to who they, at the time, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was called Cap, because he was like the captain of the team, and everyone just called him Cap for short. And he was like, and it was out of a means of respect, because he was initially that was the talisman of their team. And, he was, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar called a bus out for what he had done. And it was an interesting, really engagement between the two about how, he didn't agree with this and that. But where I'm going with this is Michael Jordan, Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux, who I just spoke about earlier with the Pittsburgh Penguins. So many of these players, David Beckham, so many of these players now are getting to levels of enriched empowerment that they're now owning these teams. They're making investments, and not only being employees, quote unquote, now they're being partners. And that's massive. That is a massive, massive difference. And right now, LeBron James has every mindset in his mind to be very similar to what he saw Michael Jordan do, which is go from being, the icon that he is for the Bulls to then being a part owner in the Wizards, or excuse me, a part owner in the Wizards, to then being a owner, a good majority owner in Charlotte, to owning NASCAR teams and doing, getting involved in things because he's got an interest in he actually not NASCAR, he has a motorcycle, it's like a GP, I think, team that he has, because he has an interest in motorcycles. This is a whole different level that we're witnessing with the empowerment of players and the money that they're making, everything else. And we are going to get into this, by the way. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, just like I said, well, JK will know what I'm talking about, but I got into it 3 times. I said this 3 times to somebody, that they were spreading lies and misinformation, saying that FSG pay LeBron James £30 million a year. They were saying, we don't spend money on players, and we give LeBron James 30 million quid a year to work for it. What it's like, can you imagine that? It takes 2 seconds. What happened was LeBron James came in as, like we say, a bit of a face for the club, to give it some, oomph, like that guy at the quarterback guy that came in at Brighton, I think, or shares in Portsmouth or Brighton, or one of those clubs. The guy from the famous guy from the famous
Tom
quarterback. Yeah, that guy. He's at one of the clubs, right? So they made him a face. So people, look at him, because nobody knows who these owners are behind the scenes. They don't have a face, right? So they like to do that. They'll bring in a guy to put a face to a bid. That's the phrase, put a face to a bid, LeBron James had shares in Liverpool, LFC. They did a deal with him. They gave him shares. He probably got them at a nice rate, but he didn't get them for free. He paid for them for his own money. Let's say they were worth 12 million. He paid 8, but he paid his own money to buy those shares. After about 4 years, he converted his shares in LFC into shares in FSG. So he had shares just in our football club, and then he converted those shares into shares in FSG, the company itself. And when he did that on the stock market, now I know I don't like this shit either, but buckle up, he made a £30 million profit. That's what he made. He made 30 million quid when he transferred those shares from LFC to FSG. That was reported on 1 year account, and some wag decided to say, we paid him 30 million quid last year. We didn't pay him anything. And now this person said 3 or 4 times on their show, we're out here paying LeBron James 30 million quid a year, and we don't have money for transfers. I said it to him 3 times. That's not what happened. You're spreading lies and misinformation. Get your shit right. I've seen this thing bandied around a lot now. At FSG are out here paying 30 million quid to LeBron James. Just think about that for 2 seconds. Why would we do that? It showed up on 1 year accounts, and people are out here thinking, oh, LeBron James is sucking money out of Liverpool. You may not like the fact that he traded some shares on us and made a profit. That's by the by. I don't like it either, that we're being traded around, but that's what happened. But it's, that was the thing that was been thrown at them. That's what LeBron did. That's all it is. When they went global, they said, we're going to become a bigger company now. So yeah, this shit is out there and it's happening. You might not like it, but you need to be factual when you're talking about it, especially when you're using it as a stick to beat somebody with.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that's and again, I know for myself, I know that there'll be we got Hylor, we got Kevin, we've got Right Armchair Supporter, Bernie, so many names in the chat, KJ, especially, Robert. There's so many names in the chat that will be quick to, fact check us, or correct us when they think that we've gotten something wrong or gotten something right. They'll certainly give us props for it as well. So, that's one unique thing about this channel, and the core members of it that definitely show up for it is that we're just there. And this is something I honestly do believe is one of the missions statements that I put in, actually one of my mission statements for the channel. If you do look at the about section, and that is, I want to empower us as Reds so that we have the best and most accurate information, so that we can go into a conversation, be genuine with our conversation, and actually empower each other and enrich each other with the information that we're sharing. And that's something that's important, and it's something that, so quite often a lot of these conversations that we're trying to have get hijacked. They get it's to the point where, like, I would love to have some real honest discourse about certain subjects, but so often they can be so divisive, or they can be so laden with misinformation that we can't even get onto equal footing to even have that conversation. So big up to everyone that does that is and does actively contribute, because I recognize it and notice
sorry, John, before you get off that's the thing that you made the point I was trying to make.
Mhm.
Because, like, I've seen that used to people who are like, oh, I didn't know that, and they're like, yeah, we do that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, I didn't know if I like that guy or not, but now that you tell me that, now I hate that guy. You're like, no, but you're like, no, but that's just fucking not true. Like,
Right.
yeah, this is the point. It's like people who coming in and they're so, because we forget that there's, like, we try and prepare. Look, I get so much shit wrong on this channel. I get so much stuff wrong. I hold my hands up all the time. I want people to correct me. I want people to tell me, no, it wasn't this, it was that. Because you sit here talking shite all night, you can't get everything right.
Right.
But you got people who don't actually know, and they go into some channels trying to find out the news or trying to find out what's happening.
Yeah.
And they trust these people to tell them what's happening, so they can then form their opinions based on what these people are telling them. And then these people are just telling them shit that's just like, dude, it takes 2 seconds to Google that and find out it's bullshit.
Right. Exactly.
But then you see them in other channels. You see these people 2 days later in another channel spouting what they've been told, and it's like, that's something Jamie Phillips told you, man. That's something you heard off K-Mac, and it's fucking wrong. It's like, oh, dude, we're doing this, we're doing that. It's like, you see them across the board.
Right.
And so I saw you in this channel yesterday saying, oh, I didn't know that. And the next day you're in another channel going, hey, did anybody know that we're doing this? It's like, oh, man. Yeah. It's so depressing. It's so depressing.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm old school in that way of, until this guy from Napoli has got a Liverpool shirt, holding a Liverpool shirt with a brick wall behind him.
Yeah.
I'm not going to listen to no one. I don't care if you're Georgian or if you know this guy, he knows this guy, this, that, and the other. Until that picture's there, and not Edwards. Is it Morgan? What's the other guy's name from Bournemouth? The sports director?
Hughes,
yeah, that's the guy. Hughes. If Hughes is next to him smiling and he's got that guy with the shirt, job done.
You gotta be careful with even that, though. Sometimes with AI today, you gotta be careful with that.
Exactly, bro. Exactly.
I saw a video of Donald Trump fighting with Barack Obama at Jimmy Carter's funeral. That never happened.
That never happened.
But yet, like, people are out there like trying to say it did. And I'm just like, what are you, crazy? But yeah, you gotta be careful.
I've seen one with Klopp and Edwards having a romantic weekend in bloody Paris.
Oh goodness. AI is mad. AI is trouble for all of us. Let me say that right now.
Yeah, but I think if you're clued up, you ain't gonna fall for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let me bring in Nolante, because we're going to jump into this FA Cup talk, because this is what the thumbnail says. You've gotten about an hour and a half of 90 minutes of us talking about the various topics around, previous games and about signings and the likes and yada yada. but FA Cup is on our doorsteps. It's going to be a very early, bright and early start for me, at least, to try to be a part of it. But I will certainly be one way or another a part of it tomorrow. We're going to have a roll call. Brian's going to hold it down for us on the roll call tomorrow. So, Nalante, big up to you, by the way. I see that you're in. I see you're on mute. So I'll give a second. Okay, yeah. Nalante, how are you doing today?
Yeah, big up 12, big up Brian, JK as always, man. My fellow panelists. And big up the chat. It's been an interesting week and a half. Some naughty people. Yeah, 2 naughty people in the chat. I mean, in the nicest possible terms. Obviously, had to be put in their place, but we move anyway.
Yeah,
we move. Yeah, it's just it's been an unfortunate day, not for me, just people close to me, just some back-to-back news, which again I'm reaching out for support for them as well. So it's been a bit of a mixed day, but on the bright side, we've got football again, and yeah, can we just win the game?
Yeah.
Can we just get back to winning?
Yeah,
that's all I want. That's all I want. I think with tomorrow, I just want something like I'm gonna again. We don't know what's gonna happen. I guess if we win, we're in the next round. So I get it, but if it's anything less than a 3-goal deficit, again, I'll be disappointed.
Yeah, big game for us tomorrow. In that it could be a jump start back to our winning ways. It could be a jump start also to us advancing the FA Cup and pursuing possibly another trophy that we could put in the cabinet. And it's against a team that I did give them props. Let me see if I can find the actual see if I can find the actual post that I did. I did give them props, by the way, because they did go and let me just show you. Hold on one second, I'll find it. They did do some something pretty cool actually, and that is show some true appreciation and respect to the 97 actually, which was cool to see them do. Let me see if I can get this on here. Boom, boom. 1 second. Pull this up here. All right. Here we go. So this is what they did before the meeting. Obviously tomorrow. Stop screen. Make sure I can get this in here.
Sorry. Do you want me to put the thing up?
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm going to show something though. This is Accrington Stanley, excuse me. And they did go to
Hillsborough Memorial.
Show respect for the 97. Yeah, to the Liverpool Memorial. It puts things in perspective. It puts things into real perspective for a lot of us, and it was definitely. I definitely give them. I mentioned the fact that was a class move to do. Not everyone with some of the disaster chants that follow some teams, to our pitch, if not at their own pitches against Liverpool, and you got to say props and big up to those that recognize the fact that their football is important, but those are our loved ones are even more important. So yeah, I wanted to make sure I gave a shout out for that. But we do have a game against them tomorrow, and we wanted to put together a lineup Brian has something for us that we want to do for the lineup. Make sure that we can get it. So yeah. So Brian, if you want, or I can put it in there for you.
There you go.
Okay. So we're gonna put this together. I have a lineup that I already have out, but or at least in my idea as to what we could or should expect tomorrow. But we're gonna try to put this together and try to come up with a consensus lineup amongst us all. And in the chat, that means you are involved in this as well. So definitely chime in loudly if you need to say what you feel is more likely to happen. Big up Cedric. Have a safe travel. Have safe travels, definitely. Let's begin with the keeper. I think with the keeper, I think what you will see tomorrow is you will see Kelleher at keeper. There were some people that said there might be a shout for Yardos to be a part of it. Do you think that's the case, or
Nah.
no?
Do you want that layout? Do you want that layout?
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, okay.
As long as everyone can see it. Yeah, I'm cool.
Yeah, it's just because when I did it on the side, you were behind the clock.
Oh, I got you. Got you.
Yeah. Okay, so
yeah, so Kelleher is a shout.
So, right.
Is that consensus by the chat and by the panel?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay. Because there was some people saying that maybe Yardos starts, against this particular team, and maybe Kelleher starts whoever we see in the next round. But okay, just making sure. So Kelleher gets the start for all of us. Looks like Robert says so. KJ says the same. Red Armchair Supporter says the same. Okay. Let's start with right back. Right back, I think, is going to be Connor Bradley. I think Connor Bradley will start in this just to kind of get some, or excuse me, not Connor Bradley. Trent Alexander-Arnold, I see. I don't see Bradley starting in this one.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I see Trent Alexander-Arnold starting. But who do you guys see starting? We don't have to necessarily put it in. We're doing a consensus.
Okay. I was going to go straight. I thought you were going to go straight to Bradley. I thought that would be the consensus. Okay, so you're with Trent. I
think Trent's going to start tomorrow. And I say Trent's going to start because I think that a trend that I've seen is either a captain or the vice captain normally does bring the team out for these competitions. There could be a shout. If he doesn't start, I do have another person that I would see being the captain for tomorrow. Someone that I would like to see captain for tomorrow too, by the way. But I
no spoilers.
Yeah, no spoilers. I think that might be a spoiler as everyone knows who that's going to be. But yeah, I thought possibly Trent, but it looks like Bradley is going to be the consensus. So we can put Bradley in there. Is that what you guys think?
What do you guys think? Yeah, what do you guys think?
Oh yeah, Bradley has to be Bradley.
Yeah, I'd be with Bradley.
Trent doesn't need to touch at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bradley for me as well, 100%.
Bradley. Okay. KJ, don't give any spoilers, KJ. Don't give any spoilers.
Let's KJ.
Okay, so right center or left back?
Yes. So right
right side of center.
Yeah, right center back, right center half. I think it's going to be Kwanzaa. Does anyone have a think different? I know Squidly just put in that he thinks Kanate and Kwanzaa.
What do you guys plays on the right though? Who give us your put in your RB and
you want to put you can put the center back tandem. I would put Nalo and Kwanzaa. I put Nalo and Kwanzaa as being the same.
Yeah. And I'll be back for Forest. We don't need to see him at all.
Yeah.
He's got a couple games now under his belt now, so I expect him to be better, 100 times better against Forest.
That is a shout. I mean, Squidly's got a shout. Looks like KJ saying Ibu and VVQ. Red Armchair Supporter saying, that is a shout too, by the way. That is a strong shout. That way Morton could play, by the way. If you start, maybe you start Endo in the right center back.
That's
Is
what I'm
more
doing. That's what
is
I'm
more
doing.
available? Is he?
I don't
No,
know.
I
I
think
don't
he's
if
on the
Kwanzaa's not
transfer list.
available. I definitely see Endo starting at right center back. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what's up with Kwanzaa. I know that someone. I asked what was going on. I tried to get an answer from David Lynch actually, because I was on one of the. I wasn't on the panel. I was in the chat, but I was the only person talking in the chat for some reason, and David Lynch was a part of it. Was being interviewed and he was taking questions. So I tried to get an answer from him about that. But I could see Kwanzaa being the right center back, but if he right center half, but if not, if Kwanzaa isn't available, it was kind of questionable as to why he went off. It wasn't for an injury, by the way. He wasn't injured. Someone was saying it was because of illness. I think it was Lee Wizkid. I think I saw in the chat said it was because of illness. That's possibly what he was going. The reports that he had heard. I don't know if it was. I'm hoping it's not anxiety. Okay, because it seemed like a little bit of that, to tell you the truth. But
No.
yeah,
There's something. It's something to do with something cool. I can't do that. I mean, again, I could be wrong, but I don't think it's illness because he was sitting down. It was something to do. He's touching his ankle a lot. So,
but
I mean,
Slot said, I'm just going to say, Slot said,
yeah,
Malante, in the presser when he was asked the question,
Yeah,
he said it wasn't an illness, or excuse me, wasn't an injury. Specifically said it wasn't because of an injury.
Yeah,
That he
that
was
made no sense to me either, Twelve. I know I heard, yeah, he said it, but I was like, but it really did look like one.
Mhm.
You know, it's sort
yeah,
of all of a sudden he just was
Mhm.
like, oh no, I'm too sick to carry on. It's yeah, I don't know. It was because we saw it and we happened. It's like
Mhm.
not. I was like, oh, he's going to be out for ages now because that's what it always looks like when it looks like
yeah.
absolutely nothing has happened, and then they're
Mm.
just sitting down. You know, it's like those are always the worst ones. Yeah, so that's a
Yeah, he
really
had the
weird
wrong
one.
type
I
of
have
runs,
no
by the
idea.
way. He had the wrong type of
Yeah,
runs, KJ.
I have no idea
Yeah,
what was happening there, but he was sat on the pitch for ages.
Yeah,
yeah.
it doesn't make sense.
It
Something's not
doesn't
right
make
there.
sense to say there was no injury at all. Yeah,
Yeah, bro.
I'd love to know it, but I'd
Where
put him
was-
in.
Let's put him
I'd go
in.
with
Let's put him in
Kwanzaa.
there. Let's put him in there. Let's put him in there. And I'm being told Morton has a knock, so he's not going to be available. I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think he's on the. I don't think he. Well, he might have a knock, but I think he's on the transfer list as well.
Yeah,
That's what
that's a shame.
I've heard.
That is a shame.
I don't
Yeah, you
know.
see, I can't play Endo.
I know
I
he's on the
can't.
transfer. He's on the transfer. Like as they're
No,
open to
he's
all.
available. Yeah, he's
Right.
available for not like he's on the outs.
Right.
It's just
Exactly.
he's available. For, yeah, when we say he's on a list, we don't mean the bad list or the the
And
naughty list.
just bringing clarity for some that might take that and run with it. That's why, definitely.
But how
Another
do we do this then? How do we put in a left-sided centre half? Because I want to go with some experience and some youth. I don't see how we get experience in that left-sided centre half role because Endo can't play there, Ibu can't play there. I
no,
mean, what we do? See, this is my problem here. You see, I would have Endo in where Kwanzaa is,
and then have
and
Kwanzaa
Kwanzaa
in
in
that left.
left centre half
Yeah,
role.
or I would have. I personally would have had. I know everybody. I want to see Ibu start to get his fitness back. I'm not saying I want to see him play the entire game, but I
It
wouldn't
might be a
mind.
shout. It might be a
I
shout.
wouldn't mind seeing Kwanzaa start in that role, where you have Kwanzaa and then have Kwanzaa on the left side, and then we could then move Endo into that right center back or move Nalo into that right center half role. But KJ's got him explain the left center back. I don't know if I want to see Ibu on the left side, to be honest with you. But that's just me. Let's just go by consensus. What are the people thinking? What are we thinking here? I don't remember Nalo getting a mention in the presser. I don't remember him getting mentioned, but I do know that I believe there's a mention that there is going to be some youth academy players, some players that normally don't get opportunities in this match to play. So what are we going with? What are we going with, guys? What are we going with?
Nalo for me.
Nalo for you?
Yeah,
Nalo?
yeah.
2 for Nalo. Brian, are you gonna you go with that?
I'm in a weird sort of way. I'm tempted to play Ibu for a while because I think he needs to find his feet pretty quick. He's had 2 games. He looks rocky. You know, I'll give him like 60 minutes of this game, bring him off, so he sort of gives him a bit of readiness for the Forest game if he's going to start. You know, hence why I might play Ibu at the back.
Yeah, that's I know.
I think it's the perfect game for him.
Yeah, Mickey M is saying unless Ibu really needs the match time, he doesn't get why we should risk him getting injured. To be fair, and I agree. It's not like we're playing him out of desperation. I wanted to play him just to get him into match fitness because if anything, truthfully, I thought in that match that in that Spurs match, I think he wasn't really. I think like you could see a little bit of rust. You could see a little bit of like you could see him kind of not necessarily he looked a little winded, I guess you could say. Or not the excuse me, not against Manchester United, I meant. Against Manchester United, you could see him getting the start. You could see that he was a little winded at that towards the end of the 90. And was kind of a little bit late here or there, getting into places. I want to see him get that fitness back. There's only ways. You got to kind of play your way into fitness. But I don't want to risk him. I agree with you, Mickey M. And Red Armchair Supporter says he doesn't want to see Ibu play Saturday. Then again, 3 days later. I understand that too. I'm not saying he should play the whole game. I'm just saying there is somewhat of a sports science behind it where it's bad to like not get a run in, apparently. You want to at least get some minutes in, despite the fact that, someone will say, oh, well, he's going to be well rested. For some reason, it is good to kind of like get runs. It's similar to what, for instance, I'll give you this reference. After that Manchester United game, it's cold, it's raining out. And Simicast did an interview actually with a public a broadcast company over here, and Simicast spoke on the fact that after the Manchester United game, him and some of the other lads had to go out and do runs.
Mm-hmm.
They had to go out, and kick the ball around, do runs, and it was. He didn't want to do it. He was kind of like he regrettably doing it because he didn't want to be out in that cold. It was bad enough he had to sit there in that coldness. And he was saying how like it's a little different, at least that you're running around, but he's like that wind still hits, when that rain and wind still hits. So yeah.
Gotta warm down, gotta warm up.
Yeah.
No, it's totally right. You can't go. Like, if you haven't played in 3 months, it's not like, oh, we're going to give you an extra 2 weeks off so you're right back for that game we want. That's just more and more time off. For me, he's going to start, I think he's going to start an experienced centre-half and a young centre-half. And VVD isn't that. He's not starting tomorrow. So to me, it's Ibu on the right and Kwanzaa in the middle. I don't see him starting at Kwanzaa and then Nalo.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. See, this is like we're totally guessing here because we can't sit here and go, oh, well, we know what slot is like, it's third round of the FA Cup.
Yeah, you can't go by. Yeah, this is all new for all of us. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, is he going to go full Tyler Mortons and Nialos and Neonis and Rios?
Right, exactly. That's a shout too. So
I don't know. What are we going? We're going Kwanzaa and what? What do you want me to put in? What do you want me to put in?
I think everyone was going Nalo. I think everyone went with, right? Or
okay, Nalo. Let's see if he's in the. Nope, he ain't in it.
So since he's not there, we'll
just call him an Ibu, right?
Yeah,
we'll just call him Ibu. Where's Ibu gone? Oh, that's a poor attempt.
Yeah. You got to put Konate. It'll pop up.
Yeah, I was hoping to get a bit of a cheat. Where is he? He should have been in it already. We're calling Nalo, Kanate.
And left back, Simicast, hands
Lefty
down.
Sparkus. Is it hands down? Okay.
I think that's got to be hands down.
I have no objection.
I don't think because Owen Beck is not available, right? So
Norris is the other guy.
Norris, is the other one. Yeah, I don't think Norris gets to start in this one. I think you go with Simicast.
Okay. What about the
Yeah.
lads?
Right?
I think he will, but personally, I would start Robbo because I would start Simicast versus Forest personally.
Oof.
But I think he's going to go.
Doing it that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. But I think he will start Simicast.
I think he'll start
I would.
Simicast.
Yeah.
I see. It's a little bit. You have KJ's with you on that one. He has Robbo starting. Robert has Simicast starting. We'll put this in. We can move it around too. Go ahead. You can hit done and.
I think it's a good sort of game for people like Robbo, maybe Trent, Ibu, to sort of find their feet. You know, like footballers, they could play like 10 years and they'll have a game where they can't find their feet. And another game like that. And I think tomorrow is the sort of game where it could be like a practice game to give people like Trent like a chance to just like smash the ball 40 yards from defense, just passing it all game like that, you know. Just to find his feet. I don't think Accrington are suddenly going to be great. They're going to be a bit cheeky maybe with the fouls and stuff like that, but I think it's the sort of game where I think a good 60 minutes for Kanate is a must for me. It's a must.
Do you know what's really funny, JK? Me and you both want Ibu, right? And because Nalo isn't in the game, even though we picked Nalo, it looks like we got our choice. We got our Kanate and Kwanzaa pick.
There you go.
So there you go.
There you go.
I think even the lineup builder agrees with us.
There you go. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I see that now. Mickey M is saying Endo and Kwanzaa as the center halves. Red Armchair supporter says
I think that's very likely to. I think the Endo Kwanzaa one is very likely to. Very likely.
But maybe after Kanate comes off and then Endo maybe fills in there or something like that.
Or even an Endo and Evo. Even an Endo and an Evo. We don't know. Again, I'm really interested to see this lineup.
I'm really interested to see what he goes with too. Yeah.
I can't wait to see how he plays this.
Chiesa has to play, Darwin has to play. They're the two like main ones. Harvey, yeah.
Who's up next then? Who do you want?
Who's up next let's go with the pivot. I think the pivot's gonna be
You want to do it in two?
Endo and Neoni in the pivot.
Well, will we just do it as a pair then?
Yeah.
So everyone just pick a pair.
Yeah. I think Endo and Neoni would be the pair.
Endo's guaranteed, so
I don't think Abdul, I've been told that I don't think Tyler Morton is available. I'd have to look and double check for that, but I believe he is unavailable because of a knock that he picked up or something. So who do we go with we are going with Ichiban number 1, and who else? Ichiban means number 1 too, also, but
where's fucking Endo? Where's Endo?
Trey and Jones, KJ is saying. Okay, so Neoni and Jones. Could be interesting. Robert's going Endo and Jones. Okay.
Oh, there he is.
Red Armchair supporter is going Trey and Endo as well. Okay.
I like Jones. I think I like Jones as a pick.
Okay.
I think I'm going
Okay.
Jones. Yeah.
What are we doing? What are we saying?
What do you
So
wanna
it would be
do?
it would be a lot to put Endo and Trey together, considering that Trey's so young and Endo doesn't necessarily bring you the versatility of the passing range that that we want from that role, but still the same. He is someone that's reliable. I'm
It
going
is
Trey.
awesome.
I'm going Trey and Endo. Looks like
Right.
again, KJ went Trey and Jones. Robert went Endo and Jones. See who else went. There were some other ones that went different, I think. What do you guys?
Okay.
You want to go? You're saying Endo and Jones. Nilante, what are you saying? What would be your pick?
Yeah, I'll go with Mendo and Jones. Trey can come off the bench.
Okay. I think Trey's going to get the start, to be honest with you. I really do. But all right, Endo Jones.
Mhm.
Good shout.
Mhm.
I think he's going to give one youth academy players at least a start in this game. I think, especially considering the team we're playing against. But who knows? What do you think, JK?
For me, I'll go with Endo and Trey. I think that would be pretty good. I've seen it. Like Trey can play pretty deep,
Right.
and he can just turn, go. And I've seen it in like the preseason games. I was really surprised how good he was. Bit of a
he's very
shame
good.
like we ain't really seen that much of him this season. After the preseason, I was thinking, yep, he could be on the bench all the time, So for me, tomorrow him with Endo together could be interesting.
We can be patient with him. He's only 17. He's only just joined.
Okay,
I was with you.
Let's put Jones. Put Jones
You
there
want-
for now.
you
I
want
know
to put
Neoni's
Jones?
not going to be. Neoni's not even going to be in the.
Yeah, I was just going to actually say that. I was just going to check just for.
Neoni's not going to be there.
No, he's there. He's there.
Oh,
He
wow,
just doesn't
look.
have. Yeah, he doesn't have a picture yet.
Wow, big up
He's actually
Trey
there twice.
Leone getting into the
That's a sign.
database.
That's
Yeah,
a
he's there
sign.
twice.
Put him in there.
He's
Put him in there.
twice.
Yeah, now you got to put him in there.
Okay. Which one do you want? Do you want this Neone or that Neone? Because for some reason he's in there twice.
The better one.
Let's go with the top one. Let's go with the top red.
one.
Neone. He
I'd
definitely
rather be a
doesn't
top red than a bottom red. How about that?
all day long. All day long. Are we all agreed on Harvey Elliott in the 10? I think we must all be agreed on Harvey Elliott. If nothing else,
Harvey Elliott has to start at the 10. If he does not start, then there is certainly real credence that he will be out the door in January, I think. Because if that doesn't say you have no aspect of getting a run in this team, I don't know what it does. I have Elliott in the 10. Is that what you guys anyone in the chat say different? Does anyone I see Mickey M is saying Dom in the 10. Okay. I think you'll see Dom possibly get a run in this game just to get a little bit of legs in him, but I don't think you'll see him if he's healthy, that is. I know he's getting over an illness, but I see it as being Elliott. I'll put up Marquez's team. Let's see. Connor Bradley,
Nolante, are you cool with Elliott in the 10?
Elliott, Neone, Chiesa. Oh, okay. Do you have Mark? Do you have Neone in a forward line role? Interesting. I have someone else that might be a little bit of a twist to it, but I don't have Neone in the forward line role. I think we're all good. Let's go with our front three. Let's just go across the board. I'll just give you my front three. I have my front three being Chiesa, Darwin, and Rio. Go ahead. Tell us what you guys think. I think we possibly could see Rio start this game.
Oh wow.
Be a great game to see him start too, by the way. What are you guys thinking? Did I leave you speechless on that one?
You boys,
I know.
No, you boys. I was waiting for the boys to start.
Dance is a shout. I know Jaden danced a shout, but that means that you would have to have I don't know
Yeah.
if Dan's and Darwin work together well in that front line. If I think we're going to see Darwin, but I don't know if I don't know if Dan's and Dar because I don't see Dan's playing out wide, and I don't see Dan's if he's going to be the starter. Do you push Darwin in? Do you say play on the left so that Dan's can play in the role that you quote unquote are supposed to be playing? I don't know about that one. I don't know if that there's a little bit more that speaks volumes more so into the psyche of Darwin that I don't want to necessarily get into. But
Well, you could play
everyone's
Darwin.
welcome. Everyone's welcome to their opinion. Go ahead.
I reckon you could play Darwin on the left, Duns in the middle, and Kiers on the right. If we're gonna use them three guys, that's how I would do it.
Sorry,
Dan
say that
middle.
again, JK.
Duns middle.
Yeah.
Darwin on the left, which we know he can play, and then Kiers on the right. Perfect.
I will say this: Rio does play left wing, by the way. Rio does play left wing for us for the U18s, and
yeah, he does. He's a great winger. He's a really good winger.
I think it'd be extremely. I'm not trying to. I guess I am influenced. I'm trying to do my little bit of influence. No, but I'm not more so just trying to, give my shout a little bit more credence.
I think they'll get there. I think we maybe. Would this be Rio's debut? Were he to play? I know it wouldn't be Trey's. Because I was about to say we could see a couple of guys get debuts tomorrow, but it wouldn't be Trey's debut. I'm reckoning it probably be Rio's.
It would be his. He's gotten one call up before this, and that was against Southampton. He was on the bench for Southampton, but he didn't get a debut. Yeah, Rio.
Yeah. So if he hasn't come on, I think he might get minutes tomorrow as a debut, but not as a starter. I have a curveball.
Mm-hmm.
I think we might see Chiesa on the right.
Okay.
Nunes up front, and someone who is, I believe, quite adept playing on the left.
Okay.
And has done it a lot before, which is Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones has actually played on that left-hand side. So again, it's Accrington.
Right.
So, with no disrespect, but it's Jones could play on the left against Accrington. He likes to drift left. I've seen him a lot of times. Klopp played him once or twice on the left of a three when we were short. So maybe this, and then bring in a Rio. But again, this is what we're waiting to find out. Is Slot a guy who starts a Rio and a Trainioni in a cup game like this?
Right.
Because it's at home and it's against Accrington. Or does he still go ultra professional and say, yeah, you'll get minutes, but I'm going to start Jones and I'm going to start Ibu. Then Nalo can come on for Ibu. Or does he go, no, we're going to do the whole kids thing. Nalo starts, Nioni starts, Rio starts, and then you bring on the older players.
Yeah.
I would guess by the way he's done things before, just judging by the way he tends, I would back him to start strong. He tends to start games strong. But this is new territory.
Nioni got I think Nioni did get the start in that Southampton game, I want to say.
Yeah, Nioni has his debut. Nioni has played for the first team. It'd be Rio, I think, would be the only guy. But hey, look, we could even see a Norris. If Norris is on the bench and we're winning 4-0, 20 minutes left to go, get Simi off and bring on Norris. No doubt about it. Is there the same amount of subs, actually? Can anyone tell me? Is it still 5 subs in the FA Cup? Is it the same as the league, or can you only bring on 3? Are you still able to bring on 5?
No, 5.
5, I think. But
it's 5.
Oh, you mean as in subs? Yes.
Yeah, 3 intervals. But so then definitely if you're 4-0 up, man, you pack a few kids on the bench, guys that have done well over the last couple of months, the kids that deserve it. Nioni, Nalo, Norris, Rio. And then if you give them their time on the pitch. But yeah, definitely, it'll be great to see. I'm here saying, let's wait and see. Not sitting on the fence, but let's wait and see what kind of FA Cup manager he is.
Yeah. Villa's up 2-1, by the way, in their matchup against West Ham. 2-1, they're up currently in the 90th minute.
Can we settle on Chiesa on the right?
I'll settle. Yeah, I think Chiesa has to start on the
Chiesa
right.
on the right. Yeah, I think everyone's good with that, though, are they?
Mhm.
JK and Nante, just in case. You're good with Chiesa on the right, yeah?
Yeah, I'm perfect for that. Yeah.
Yeah. Nante,
Next.
cool. So left wing, what do you think?
Trey and English. Okay.
12 pounds already said Rio. So
On the left wing, yes. My
that-
shots for Rio. I think it'd be fantastic to see a little bit of youth into the team.
and I said Jones. So
I saw someone in the chat say Elliott as a shout rather than Elliott the 10 to play Elliott.
Elliott.
KJ said Elliott on the left.
No. God, no. Oh, KJ, come on, man. What have you been drinking tonight? No, come on. No, you know.
I don't even think KJ drinks actually. So yeah.
Well, exactly. Check what's in that bubble tea or whatever, you know.
Yeah, there you go.
But no, Elliot as a 10 against a guy. Come on, he's gonna.
Robert has Nunez playing left wing.
Nunez on the left for Rob. Okay, who's up front then? Rob, tell us who's up front if it's not Nunez.
Let's cheer Rio surname. No Google. Don't know what you mean by that.
JK.
Oh, he does.
You boys, I've never
my fault. Well, maybe KJ does drink brandy. Ooh, he's a sophisticated.
Oh, very sophisticated is all right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
KJ.
There you go.
I prefer Monica.
A little shaking in this little sniffer glass or whatever it is.
Yeah, the snifter. Yeah.
Remember that big R&B sort of battle, Brandy and Monica?
Yeah, the boys.
Yeah. He was a great singer,
Yeah, Brandy singer. Yeah.
Yeah, Brandy the top singer.
Yeah, she know Melissa already though, is she?
Yeah.
But she's got a great singing voice. I bet she does.
Yeah, Ray J. Her brother Ray J was big.
Yeah,
too.
that's it. Yeah.
He's one of the reasons why a lot of people
one.
know about Kardashian, but for other reasons. Before we get too deep into that.
Before we get too deep into her, you know.
I'm playing Kylie Jenner on the left wing.
Let's not go there.
Not for great reasons. Not for great reasons. Yeah.
Kylie Jenner on the left wing for me.
Oh,
Kylie Jenner on the left wing. Kylie Jenner. Lee's not here tonight. Okay.
Yes.
We don't need.
Okay,
you want us to be upset to be the laughing stock of the league?
Yeah, I know. I'm showing my age. I know I am showing my age. I am. I'll show you. This is Rio's last name for those that asked.
Yeah. So what are we doing, boys? What are we going on to left? JK, who's your left wing?
OH.
I'm gonna go with Darwin. I'll go with Darwin.
Adelante.
Lucho.
See, this is the first shout for Lucho. Okay, so I was waiting for a serious call.
Did you say Lucho?
Lucho.
Yeah, get Luke Shaw in on a free.
Oh, Lucho. Okay. I thought you said Luke Shaw then.
Oh no.
So we got a Darwin, we got a Luke. I nearly said a Luke Shaw. We got a Darwin, we got a Diaz, got a Jones for me, which I know is wild card.
Mm-hmm.
You got a Rio from 12 man, so that's 0 agreement. So, what are people thinking? What are people saying in the chat then?
Okay, everyone has to swap. I'm gonna go with Diaz then. I'll go with Diaz on the left. Yeah.
Jeez, you guys think Diaz, huh?
Yeah, I'll go with Diaz. And then if you want to bring that Rio lad on later, fair play.
Because
Darwin, 2 Darwins.
Because I know Darwin likes playing on the left sometimes. Like he used to play on the left quite a lot.
Yeah, on the clock. Yeah, you can. Yeah. And you can do it. I mean, you can get away with this game, but he needs to be up the front.
I want to put him exactly. If you're not playing Darwin, if you're playing Darwin on the left, if you're going to play 90 Darwin,
minutes,
stick him in the middle.
Yeah,
that's what I'll prefer him in the middle. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he needs a full 90 minutes.
Gakpo ain't playing tomorrow. Well,
no. He's on holiday.
He's
Cool, right? He's
that's a starter now. You know.
Yeah,
he's
for
at the
now,
Not
didn't play
starter.
well. Yeah, for now. For now, he is. For now.
That'd be cruel.
Hello?
That'd be cruel on Accrington, though, wouldn't it? Starting us with Chiesa and Diaz and Nunez up front, they'd be like, "Come on, let's give us
Yeah,
a break."
yeah. We've
Well, for
got
me,
two
does Diaz
defenders.
need? I think we like Diaz don't really need games. He's sort of played a lot in the last weeks and months. So for me, we've got to find a way where maybe I'm not a biggest fan of Dan's. I think everyone's going a bit over the top with it. He's going to be the next Ian Rush or whatever it is. We've not really seen anything of Dan, so that's why I don't mind seeing Dan's playing tomorrow. Let's see what he's all about.
Okay.
The hype's been there for a long time now. He got
I knew
injured.
this was going to be the pick, the left wing pick. I knew this was going to be the pick, and it's just because we all picked 4 different people. I knew this was going to be the hardest one.
Chat.
So we're going to need a tiebreaker. We got a, or else we're just going to go with the main man. We're going to go with the main man show. Otherwise, give me a
I don't think he's going to be. He might not. No,
I know,
N.
but
It's
we'll have a
N. N.
Oh,
not
sorry.
M.
Give me an N. Give me a G. Is it?
And it's not going to be on there. Yeah.
No.
he's not gonna be there. No. I didn't expect him to be in there, actually, though. I think I've tried to look him up before, and it wasn't on there.
Well, we'll put Diaz in as a placeholder.
That's going to be
There's no
interesting to see who gets that shout.
I think
I
we're all
don't see,
on.
I don't see why people don't think if there was going to be someone, I would probably sooner say Cody before Lucho start on there if it had to be one. If it had to be a starter.
And you want Darwin up front, I'm assuming. Everybody wants
I think Darwin's got to start, especially since he's suspended for tomorrow or for the next game.
Yeah, exactly. You're talking about writing on the wall for Elliott. Jeez, imagine if Darwin didn't get picked for this one, and he's not available for the next one. That's here's the plane ticket, dude. Here's your plane ticket.
Yeah, exactly.
So what? Okay, so Kelleher, Bradley, Ibu isn't Ibu. He's Nalo. So it's Kelleher, Nalo, Kwanzaa, Simi, Endo, Neoni, Chiesa, Elliott, Rio, or we'll call wild card there, right? And then Darwin. I mean, that's a taste. Even if obviously that we won't get that completely right, but even some variation of that. This is what I was saying against Spurs. It's like, oh, we could make changes. But I was going to change it with a strong team.
By the way. That could be a shout.
What's that shout?
No, Diego is probably not on anyone's radar to start this game. He might even be someone that you might have slated as being the starter for the Forest game. But there are those of us that think that Diego needs to still work towards fitness.
You could put Diogo on. You could put him on the left.
You could put Diego on the left.
You could put Diogo. Yeah, you could play him off the wing.
You could.
It's not like he's never done that before.
Yep. And considering all things considered, I mean,
Darwin can move
Diego has played that 10 role / shadow striker, so it could be a very interchangeable assortment of roles for them to like. Sometimes Diego, because I think Diego and Darwin have started to create a real relationship together. Actually, they're starting to work out a relationship of working together, and I think that's why we've seen. Slot have Darwin in that 9 role, but then still put Diego in there and have him as a 10, as opposed to, he even mentioned it, how he had him as a midfielder or a 10, rather than a actual than as the striker. He's mentioned how he had Darwin and striker, for instance, one time. But it should be interesting. It should be very interesting. All right. We know where we have Jota. We know where we have Diego and Nunez already. Bring them on in second if we are draw or down a goal. That's what Mickey M is saying. Like, okay, could be. Very well could be. This is just a consensus, people. This is all just trying to get a consensus. And I know it's not easy. There's going to be obviously some people out there that we don't get to see. We don't get to see their picks. By the way, that Villa game has gone final. 2-1 Villa. 2-1 Villa over West Ham. To the newly appointed West Ham that is going to see them. I don't know if the Moises bring them out for this game or.
No. No. It was Coleman and Baines that were in charge of that game.
Okay. They said they might get him in by the weekend or something. So I don't know if they put him in just yet or not.
Bad idea. He was number 2 with the bookies yesterday. Number 1 was Mourinho, and we're talking about it's like you're never number 1. Never go back with Moyes.
Yeah.
And number 2, Mourinho was a busted flush, basically at the highest level.
Yeah.
Everton should be looking at an Iraola, a young and up and coming type manager. Yet now they're going back to a David Moyes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It never works when you go back. It never ever works. But they panicked. David Moyes would probably, maybe do an okay job there, but he won't be the manager to take them into a brave new future. New stadium, new owners. Hopefully staying in the Premier League. You've gone back what is it now? 15 years in time to David Moyes.
Right.
No, even if he does a good job there, like he just recently won a European trophy with West Ham. Like, I mean, West Ham winning a trophy is crazy, let alone a European one. So he's a good coach, but
he's a good coach.
Very strange,
but it's
choice.
Yeah.
Sure, he was delighted to get the call.
Yeah, the same. It's very similar to Potter, right? Didn't he get a call up?
He got the West Ham job. Got
Potter got the West Ham job. That's right. My fault. And
Moyes
is Everton. My fault.
Moyes. Moyes is at West Ham. He's gone back. No, he's gone to Everton.
Right. That's what I meant. Yeah.
And Sean Dyche is left sitting there going, "What am I supposed to do?"
Yeah.
Like he's in a sport group with Lopetegui.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to answer some questions before we go on, because this is the lineup that we're going to go with, as Brian was just noting. If you want to run through the lineup that we've kind of settled on here.
Yeah, again in goal, Kelleher, Bradley at right back. I think JK and yourselves wanted Trent. No, you wanted Trent. JK, I think. Kanadi is in there because we can't have a Nalo. Kwanzaa is in there. Simi, Endo, and Leone in the pivot. Harvey Elliott in the number 10. Then out wide, Kay's on the right. Luis Diaz as a placeholder for Rio, who was a boss man pick basically. But I think we basically realized at this stage nobody can decide who we want to play left wing. And then up top,
we all had different picks. Yeah, we all had different selections for.
Everybody went wildly different on the left wing. So, and then up top, a kind of general consensus on Darwin. The man who needs, he just needs something. Give him a game against Accrington.
He needs a brace, he needs a patch trick, something to kind of.
He needs to feel good about playing football again. Feel good about playing football again, scoring goals. That's what. This guy's business is putting the ball in the back of net. So give him a chance to do that at whatever level it might be, because he could score a hat trick tomorrow and people would be like, it's Accrington. So it won't matter.
There's never a win. There's never a win for him. Never.
Yeah.
There's never a win for him. And that's what is so frustrating. I got on Lawrence McKenna about it because it's frustrating to hear him talk about. It's to the point where he can't go 15 minutes without saying something negative about Darwin. He'll throw in a compliment and then do a backhanded, and then he'll do now that I said the compliment, let me go negative. He'll do negative, then he'll go positive for a minute, then he'll go back to negative. I'm just like, dude, it's just wild, pretty wild. So I gave a stick on him. If you do see his comment, or if you do check out his videos, you'll most likely see a comment from me, and why my comment might stick out is because in my comments, they're usually not 1 or 2 sentences. They're usually a couple paragraphs. So you will see some definite commentary by myself. But
I will go ahead and take that down now.
yes, because I want to put up something as a little bit of a feel good moment here, because I know that there was talks earlier in the segment about how some Arsenal fans are taking liberties with some of the banter and some of the comments that they've been putting out about us, about our team, about how they think that we are on the verge of being bottle jobs and taking that crown away from them, and projecting. I think it's the best thing is to say is projecting. But I even shared a video with some, and actually, let me see if I can find that video real quick. I'm sorry. Let me see. I did everything I'm prepared, but let me see if I can find this video for you guys real quick, because I did see them working on something, and this is what I will say. So I'll bring up this picture. Bring up this one first. This is obviously, whoops, I gotta bring it up. Let's see. This is obviously the man who likes to play. The man who likes to. I saw the segment where they did. I have a great idea. You'll never to get the guys ready for the atmosphere. I might be glitching a little bit. To get the guys ready for the atmosphere at Anfield, I'm going to play "You'll Never Walk Alone," and it's like come on, so pathetic, so pathetic. He is reaching. Whoops.
Those janky balls. Those janky balls. What could they do? That ball
Right.
was just weird. It was like square shaped or something. They'd never seen a ball like it in their lives.
They'd never seen a ball like it.
They'd never seen a ball like that in their lives. It was all triangular and purple and Yeah, man. It was like we've never seen a decision like that in our lives. You mean where your guy basically headbutted somebody in the box and you got, yeah. Because people don't usually do that. That's why you've never seen it, man.
Well, I will say this. This is something I did see that they are sent to that gentleman that, likes to talk about his 3 trophies that he calls out. And he calls, and what he's referencing is his glorious FA Cup, which is a good, is something well noted and appreciated. And also his 2 charity shields, which is something that he's talking about too, is in his silverware hall that he likes to.
2 is better than 1,
2 is definitely
better than 1. It's more than 1.
I did have a little bit of ops out there. I did do a little bit of trying to find some recon for our Arsenal Gooners out there. Big up. I see that they are working on their next trophy. So I did see that they're working on their next trophy. I like to share the op I have for that. So apparently this is Arsenal working on their next trophy. Big up to them. Putting in the work. You know how it goes. This is about as close to a trophy as they might be getting for some time. So, you do what you got to do. You do what you got to do. Anyways.
Yeah, big up Uncle Claude, or whatever his name is.
There you go. Keep on working. Keep up the good work. Keep up the hard work. Yes, for sure. Oh man.
Yeah, but don't forget, don't forget, they went invincible in like the world's most boring invincible season ever, because it's not the only one that's ever happened.
No,
did you not know that? Did you not know that they went invincible once? Because they don't stop reminding me every single day.
Every single opportunity they get.
Yeah, you won a league, but did you go invincible? Oh, fuck.
Some might say that this is Arteta looking at how much time he has left at being head coach for Arsenal, because some are getting tired of the excuses. Some are getting it's the ball, it's the referee, it's, oh my goodness, this guy. But
Do you know what I'm thinking when I saw that 12? When I saw that picture, I'm thinking he should be looking at that watch and going, the fact that I'm good at kicking a ball means that I can wear a watch that costs this much money. What the fuck have I got to worry about? Why am I getting so stressed?
Yeah.
These guys are out there, man. Just Arteta, man. If you don't like it, just pack it in, man. Just pack it in.
Yeah,
Go away, have a
KJ's
nice life. You've made
KJ said he's
millions
trying to
and
do
millions.
deals. The Lego man is chilling. I don't know. I get that you're going to have a lot from the fan base. If that Gooner doesn't get that trophy polished up, shined up, polished up, and ready to go, like he was working on there, that might be the only trophy they get to see this year. So you never know. So it is important.
This is
important.
This is what Kev was saying. Is the 1920 wins better than the Invincibles?
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
Just you have to take everything into context. You have to factor in everything. Factor in absolutely everything. It's like, how many games did we lose? We lost one. Right? We lost one game.
On top of that, not only did we lose one game, we wrapped up the league in the least amount of time ever.
Yeah, but look at the points totals. Look at the amount of draws they got.
Yeah,
they went invincible. That's an amazing achievement. But there are other teams that have gone invincible. It's not a unique achievement. You know, they did it in a way where, of course, how can you denigrate an unbeaten season? Oh, you didn't win enough games.
No.
But we went probably. Oh, yeah, we lost one game, but we got a shitload more points than they did, and there's probably a load of games in that where a kick of a ball, an offside flag, ref's decision, and they don't go invincible.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you the truth. If we maybe take a little bit more into that, Watford, I think it was, right? We take a little bit more principled measured into that Watford game, and it was this fact that we lost to Watford. That was the sad part, important part of it. Yeah, if we take a little more time measure. I was showing this though, real quick, because we're coming up on the 2.5 hour mark. We're going to be ending in a couple minutes here. Why I was showing this is because looking at the clock is something that he and his club does a lot. And why is because he and his club are notorious for time wasting. For a team that's supposed to be such a powerhouse, a juggernaut of offense, Set Piece FC is all about wasting time as they lead the league in cards being issued for the Premier League for time wasting.
He's one of the worst coaches in the league right now. I'll tell you why he's one of the worst. I'll tell you why. JK will probably agree with me on this. I know he will. This guy has, and nobody has fucking spotted it. Even Arsenal fans are talking about it. Their famous set pieces, you know, the way that they become elite from set pieces all of a sudden. Everybody is pointing out that what they're doing that by fouling in the box. They're doing it by blocking off. Everybody blocks runs, right? That's a classic thing. You block a run. I've done it a million times in football. I can see somebody that's slower than me is about to get to a ball that he's about to contest somebody. I run in front of them and I slow down. I'll sprint past somebody, I'll get in front of them, and then I'll just slow down. So they'll have to slow down and break their momentum, right? That's blocking in a clever way. They will block the goalkeeper. They will foul the goalkeeper. They foul defenders, which never get called. This is a lot of what their set piece coach genius is all about, is fouling opposition players in the box. And because they figured out that those are calls that never get called. Someone blocking somebody. These guys are so bad at what they're doing that I guarantee you in at least one season, if Arteta keeps doing what he's doing, they will start introducing new laws and rules. Because what Arsenal are doing is criminal. What they are doing in the box is criminal. They're not brilliant at set pieces. They're brilliant at strategic fouling in the box to stop people challenging them from set pieces. That's where they're getting their advantage.
We were watching, Brian. Remember who we were watching? I showed a segment or a clip It was the Chelsea. I think it was a Chelsea player, right? That was it was a clip about how he was just going off about how Arsenal talk about this. Their new set piece thing is something that we did in preseason. We introduced this new set piece thing that they do, this formation. We introduced it in preseason. A preseason that Arsenal was touring with us on, too, by the way. Okay. So we introduced this in preseason. And now they use this where they all line up on one side and then they run up and enter into the line. Yeah.
Have we done that this year, though?
We've done it once. Yeah, we did it once.
Yeah. Because they know, like, once these guys know what you're going, once you reduce the element of a surprise from a set piece like that, it's gone.
Yeah.
But what Arsenal have done now is like, no, we're just going to block
that's their that's
we're
go-to.
going to block runs. Yeah, it's like, it's not like they're winning more battles.
Yeah.
They're winning more headers and they're more successful from set pieces because they're cheating in the box.
Right.
And they realize that of all the calls that ever get made is no one has time to watch 10 players in the box. They're watching the ball. What they don't see is 3 or 4 guys out there basically impeding defenders from doing their job. This is what they're doing. They're doing it week in, week out, and they're doing what you said, embarrassing a club of the stature of Arsenal by time wasting in a game that they're not losing after 25 minutes. I've seen them do it. And do you remember we were playing them a while ago? It was 20 minutes left in the game. They took the ball into corner flag. You take the ball into the corner flag when there's 30 seconds left, not when there's 20 minutes left. Arsenal were like, are you seriously taking the ball into corner flag right now? And they're like, yeah, you do know it's 70 minutes left. You're embarrassing your club.
Yeah.
It's horrible. If he was our manager, I'd want him out, JK. I would want him out of our club immediately if Arteta was managing us. He's a fraud.
I think he's sort of done okay in the last 2 or 3 years, putting Arsenal back on the football map. But he spent nearly $1 billion doing it. And also, he's got an attitude problem. He hates Liverpool. The guy went to Everton. Like, come on, he went to Everton and he paid for Everton. He hates Liverpool, and you can see it in his face. Hence why I love beating Arsenal right now.
Yeah,
he played for Rangers. He played for Rangers as well. Rangers played Celtic. Celtic is the Liverpool club.
Yeah, there you go.
I said that I would be giving. I said that I would be giving my Reds out there an ace in the hand or an ace in the hole to use against any gunner or gooner that speaks out of place or maybe tries to banter you or tries to say some nonsense or whatever. And that is this. That is this sheer fact. This is the ace in the hole. Arsenal FC has gone 21 years without a title, 33 years without a Carabao Cup title. They have 0 Champions League titles. They have 0 Europas. They have 0 Super Cups. They have 0 Club World Cups. No UCL in 139 years. Okay? Never defended.
What about them champions? What about the charity shield? What about them
hold that charity shield up high.
What about them charity shields?
They have never in their life defended a Prem title. This fan base
never gone back to back. Basically, they've never gone back to back.
Yeah,
which is the mark
of that invincibles. If you're so incredibly invincible, you couldn't hold on to it the next year. Okay, because the fan base has the audacity, as it's put here, they have the audacity of Real Madrid. They act as if they're Real Madrid, but in reality, they're closer to Blackburn, and that is so true. Know your role and hold it.
Amazing. It's amazing how
they're facts right there. That's facts right there. I think it's a London thing. I think they're big city, London. You know how people are. So they're on that vibe. Look at Tottenham; they're the same as well. Chelsea, all the London clubs, mainly too hyperactive. not being successful, and they live on the hype thing because that's all they've got. They look at us with envy. They say that now. You might think they might like Liverpool. No. They hate Liverpool.
That's what I'm asking, Philip. How dare they? Hold
Well,
that.
that's it, man. JK's
Hold
got it right.
that. That's
It's
We
right.
should print that on a
London
t-shirt.
No, it's that
Stay
London vibe,
humble.
man.
It's a London vibe.
It is a London vibe, man. You could walk up to a homeless man sitting outside a fucking shop in London, and you give him 2 or 3 quid. He'd be like, "Bro, your trainers are shit." They're just like London people are just like
Oh man.
That's someone else.
they
Someone
got
else.
that arrogance about them, man. Even when they're like right there, they're like, "Dude, you look." It's like, where'd you get that fucking shirt?
I
man?
know. People are gonna like people hate on the League Cup as if it's not a real trophy or whatever, you know, and like it's one of those things where even if no matter how you look at it, it would be like if it came down to it, we could be on if someone offered, we'd be like, yeah, we'll take it. We're privileged and honored to take the trophy, but it'd be one of those things where if you're coming up to, like you said, the homeless guy on the street and you offer him a dollar, if it was Arsenal, even if we were the one that are on the streets, we'd be like, I think you need this dollar more than we do.
Yeah.
I think
You need to buy some better gear.
I think you need to get your life worked out before you start
need yours.
lecturing us on
Fashion
how to get
tips.
our life worked out.
Before you give
Yeah.
me fashion tips, sort yours out. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
sort yours out, you know. Sort yourself out before you start giving us. That's the thing, man. That's the year before this, these last 2 years that they were in these title chases, to see the amount of Arsenal content creators on channels, on things telling us, well, what Arteta does is this, or you got to be more like Arteta, and by doing that, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, are you for real?
That one time, that one time they nearly won a league.
Yeah.
That one time they nearly won a league. It's like someone, right, who's like fucking failed their driving test 3 times, telling someone what they need to do.
Yeah.
Pass the test.
Yeah.
Even when all they're doing is renewing their license. They're like,
Yeah.
dude, I've had a driver's license for 30 years. I'm just renewing this shit. Yeah, but what you need to do is this. Yeah, I failed the last 3 times, but what you need to do is this. It's like, you're not the person to be out here giving advice to anybody.
Yes. Absolute projection, by the way, whether it's Gooners. I mean, like, I would even go as far as some Red Devils are starting to get increasingly annoying with the way that they're starting to think about yesteryear a little bit too much and feel as though they should be in a place that they are miles away from. And that's the thing about it. It's like, yeah, just humble yourself. I think it's less about what Holland said to them, and I will admit that has come back to haunt him. But it's more in the case of just like, come on, man. I do not want to hear about Arteta. I don't want to hear about his community shields. I don't want to hear about this guy that took a team that wasn't even his team to go on to win the FA Cup. Okay, because let's be honest, since he's put in all the pieces and parts of this team to be what he envisions is a team that will win titles, it has won you goose eggs. So humble yourself with when you speak to those that have won silverware, and that is my Reds, our Reds. That's how I see it. Humble pie. But I just wanted to make sure that I got that in there. Just got that in. Because trust.
Think about it, it's going to get even worse. Imagine it's been 20 years since they won the Premier League title. 21 years now. Actually, we checked today. Actually, 21 years. I imagine it's going to be 42. They're going to be much worse then.
Oh,
Really.
if they were the favorites, they're easily acting as if they weren't the favorites for this year. They were the favorites for this year.
Yeah.
If they don't get this title in a year where they were preseason favorites, in a year that has seen City fall off considerably, in a year that has Liverpool with a first-year coach and not only a first-year coach, but first-year coach in the Premier League at least, okay? But it's his first year with the club as well. Nah, bro. I don't want to hear any more lectures. I don't want to hear you trying to sun us on your Arteta this and your Arteta's that. Pipe down. And definitely pipe down. I don't know if I need a pause behind that or not, but that's how I see it. So hopefully you guys out there, some of you might have already known a lot of those facts. I'm sure you do, because I know we have a lot of knowledgeable people in the chat. But hey, if someone comes at you, know that you got the support of myself and your Reds, but always recognize that, hey, sometimes people got to be put in their place, and I don't want to see anyone try to take liberties with my fellow Reds in our club. So big up.
Only two teams. Only two teams. Every club in England is famous for something, right? They all have their bits and pieces. There's only two teams in England that are famous for winning multiple league titles. The league, the thing that matters most. There's only two clubs for winning multiple league titles. That's us and Manchester United.
Yeah.
The rest are just flash in the pan teams that did their bits and pieces.
Yep.
And had good eras, had good times, had good moments, 3, 4, 5 years, whatever. But there's only two teams that are out there that have been famous, and it's only because of the Ferguson years. Before Ferguson, really, the only team that ever went out and dominated the league in England is us. Right. Everyone else has their little bits and pieces. There's nothing any club or any fan base could ever teach us about winning, about losing, about being humble. When you've been humble, we went through 20 years of it. Yep. We've been to the mountain. We've been up and down. We've been everywhere. We've seen the promised land. We've seen the lowest points. We've seen it all. There's not any fan base in England can teach us about anything. Winning in Europe, we know it. We've been there, done that 6 times.
Right.
Winning in England, we've done it 19 times. Being shit, we did that. Coming back, we did that.
Yeah.
There's nothing we haven't done. We wrote the fucking book. Competing with Manchester City when they were cheating the shit out of, we did that. We wrote the book on that one.
Allegedly.
There's nothing we can be taught. There's nothing any other fan base can even come into a room and say, hey, sit down now. I have some advice for you on, No, man. There's not.
We're good.
We've done it all. We know how to do it. We've been there. We've been in the doldrums. We've been at the top. Telling us to stay humble. Some other dickhead was in here a while ago telling us to stay humble.
Yeah.
Telling Liverpool fans to stay humble.
Yeah.
This is a club born out of humility.
Yeah.
Yep. We don't do arrogant flash, big talk, big bollocks. That's for Chelsea and Man United. This is a club born out of humility and realism. So there's nothing any fan club, a fucking London-based club with fans from, never been at the stadium telling Liverpool fans how to feel and what to do. It's embarrassing.
Yeah. It's very embarrassing. But then again, that's what it's all about.
We're going to do it, Mickey.
There's more. They're a club that has a mural of their freaking. They're a club that has a mural of their set piece coach. Okay. Come on.
There is another one. Yeah. We're getting to that 20. We're putting a 2 in front of it this year. We're putting a 2 in front of it this year.
Let's do it. Let's stay focused, stay focused, stay motivated, and also stay strong out there, people. It's not going to be an easy run. There's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, there's going to be bits that we have to definitely pull deep. pull deep and I mean like as in reach down deep inside the soul and muster through, but it makes a difference when you know you have each other to call upon, as to say, you know, a light out there, because there's going to be lots of them that are going to start doing the whole Chicken Little, the sky is falling. Let's just make sure that we understand we've been here before. This isn't our first rodeo. All right, this is not our first rodeo. So, is there anything you guys want to say to people before we let them go? We're coming up on the 2 hour. We're supposed to be done 45 minutes ago, but it's all good. Anything you want to say before we bounce out? JK, do you have anything you want to say? Or Brian, go ahead.
Just in case the lads, I'll give the lads a second. 11:15 a.m. UK time tomorrow morning. Early roll call. Roll call, folks. Mm-hmm. So if you don't know, don't forget it's a 12:15 kickoff. It's a weird time.
Yes, it is.
But we will be on an hour before the game as usual. So Reds roll call 11:15 a.m. Same bad time, same bad channel, and all that. But yeah, we'll see you all in the morning. Hopefully, we'll see you all in the morning.
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate it. Good to see you. Good to see you, Mickey M. Thank you. Appreciate the kind words. Definitely, Kevin. Appreciate that as well. Yeah. There you go, Kevin. There you go. So yeah. JK, you have anything you want to say to people before we bounce?
No, it's like the best of the chat, as always. Top lads in there. Also the panel, Brian, Nolante, yourself. And I just want to see a game tomorrow where it's sort of like a training session and the players have scored a lot of goals, no injuries, and that we're sort of mentally ready for that game on Tuesday, which is the big one.
There you go.
So, like, tomorrow is a good day for us. I think it's a top opponent to have. There's no top dog where we might even get beat and people are going to be bloody moaning. So, I think we got half out with this one.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, we were fortunate to get two opponents that are. I know we didn't get the result that we wanted against Spurs, but we got two opponents that definitely, hopefully, would give us a little bit of a breather and an opportunity to kind of get people into the right state of mind. So, Nolante, do you have anything you want to say to people before we bounce out?
No, not much. Big up always the chat for listening in. From the panel, yeah, like JK simplified it. Let's get back to winning ways. Hopefully, certain players that have had speculation and their name in the last week or so, they'll get on the score sheet. And yeah, just get a win, and then we'll move to the big one next week. So yeah, yeah, like you said, Brian, join the roll call with Brian and Co. And yeah, peace out, guys. Peace out.
Peace out. Definitely. We wish the best to your situation and to your loved ones, Nolante. We wish the best to everyone's loved ones actually as well out there. I know a lot of us go through some tough times and some tough places in life, and it is encouraging though to have a place, to have that Cheers place. I guess Cheers is a television show. That Cheers place where like everyone knows your name and and it's all about like just a place to kind of like let things kind of surmise and find a little serenity in the sense of sharing some good laughs, maybe some fun banter, and also most of all being there and supportive of one another. And it's very important because we're a unique fan base, I think, that can often lose sometimes sight of that, but it's something that I champion in that one of the reasons why I do feel it's important to be here and to have the opportunity to call myself a Red along with you. So big up to each and every one of you. Hopefully we will see you tomorrow.
Sorry. Mickey M is saying thanks for streaming. Thanks for being here. If he weren't here, we wouldn't stream.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's all about the people that come in and join, because other than that, yeah, we're here because you're here.
Yeah, and hopefully bring some other people with you, or tell others about it. Tell I'm trying to make sure that it doesn't take much to hit the subscribe button. It doesn't take much when you are here for the show to hit the like button or leave a comment. It's important that we show that these kinds of shows, these kind of fan channel and fan emphasis style channels kind of have a place amongst those other channels out there, like your negative channels, your negative Nancy's, your Debbie Downer channels, or the channels that are just all about like, who shouts the loudest type channels. Like it makes a difference when a channel like this and other channels like it kind of get a little bit of a foothold of making some emergence amongst those other channels. And I'm hoping that it does. And I'm hoping that you stay along with us in the journey, because you are very much so the cornerstones in this, you are definitely the stone that the cornerstone is like the Bob Marley song. I'm not going to go into the song though, but still the same. You are very important. That's what I want to emphasize. So big up to each and every one of you. See you tomorrow for the roll call. Please do be here bright and early for some of us, even earlier for others. So yeah, we will see you tomorrow. Definitely. Good blessings and peace and blessings to each and every one of you. And we will see you tomorrow. And as always, up the Reds, people, up the Reds. Okay, take care.